How's it going, everybody? I'm Kyle from Fantasy Forge Studios, and we are back with the Adventures of Eclaas, Everlast RPG. Yeah, a lot of it happened last session. Battle concluded, and new or familiar faces were revealed. But we are joined by three of our players tonight. Unfortunately, Max was unable to make it, and so he is here with us in spirit. But in the meantime, we are joined with Luxalia, Yuki, and Belbin tonight. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right in and have the players introduce themselves, starting with Luxalia.
Hey y'all, I'm Cole and I play Luxalia of the Silverwood, Shrine Maiden, Holy Lady, healer of the party, and has a mysterious backstory that nobody knows about. Or does she?
We know that she's got that backstory.
I know.
Heard many times.
I know. You might learn what it is someday, but there it is.
Just don't forget it.
What I'm curious about is who's this gentleman, this handsome lad on the map here.
Oh, that's Jack.
Jack. I forget who. Oh yeah, Jack. Yeah. Okay. yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh my
We're
god.
back.
That's where we left off. Yeah. So yeah, that's Luxalia.
Nice. Our next character is Yuki.
Hello everyone, my name is Dane or Forge here at Fantasy Forge Studios, and I play the character Mistletoe Yuki. She's a silver dragon from the far north reaches of a small little dragon city called Flamonglith. Not small, quite big, but she's from there, and she is a bard class, so she is the DPS bard of the game of Everlast, which is the blade dancer, which is really cool. So she dual wields broadswords, and she deals a lot of damage. It's pretty cool, and she uses a bunch of dances to like link and do more elemental damage. It's pretty sweet. So hopefully she gets to use some of those today. She's looking forward to it.
For sure.
That's her.
And we have Belbin.
Hey guys, I'm Connor. I play Belbin. He is a DPS Glyven. And right now he's naked, but he's not afraid. It's hard to make him afraid. So yeah, he's a grumpy, he's the old man of the party, and yeah, I don't know. He's just kind of does whatever he wants. Sometimes I lose control of him too. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And then we have Thordane and Zill. So starting with Thordane, he is the one of the party support characters. He is the captain of Alamia's Breath, which is their ship, and wrestling extraordinaire. And he's also naked, kind of. He doesn't have his gear. He has a short bow now, which is cool. He's got a kind of a pseudo sword that he has, kind of.
Hey, it's still better than the Gladys whatever
He did a great job of putting out fires last session, so
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah, and digging
Literally.
holes inside the
Like
temple.
any good captain, let your crew do most of the work while you just put out fires.
Exactly.
Solid.
Exactly. And then Zill, who is a tank. He's got many names. I don't have his list of names, but a couple of them off the top of my head.
Teapot of Madness.
Exactly. Teapot of Madness. The
Waffle
Orphan of
House.
Helix.
Waffle
House.
House.
That's right. Yeah, he's got lots of names.
Yeah.
He usually refers to himself as that. Most people don't, but
Yeah.
he's also got a mouse named Waffle.
Some know
hence
him
the
as
Waffle House.
Mysterious Bob.
Yes, Mysterious Bob, and he also has a mysterious backstory that is less mysterious. He's a tank class, so he's a rune lord, and he has got a bunch of runes all over him that he uses to various effects. So it's cool. He wields a giant great axe, battle axe, and that's cool. Anything else? Am I missing anything? About
Yeah, I just want everyone to know that he got his nickname Mysterious Bob because he had a really bad haircut once. It was like a cropped bob, and it was pretty mysterious.
Oh boy, Max or Zill?
Zill. Yeah, Max. No, I don't think
thought
Max
you
has
were-
ever had a
you
bob.
You were spilling
But-
the deets.
I would
No,
love that.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody on Photoshop. Go.
no,
Go.
that's Zill. Zill has a mysterious bob. Was he undercover? Nobody knows.
And one more quick announcement before we do get going. So at least starting now, Connor and I, if we look all set up to be the same, it's because we're together now. We got the
Wow.
studio officially going for it. So Max isn't here, but Max will be here joining the three of us. And so we're kind of taking that direction to upgrade this stream a little bit. And so even Kyle and Cole are getting some stuff sent to them, but unfortunately they don't live in Colorado. So but yeah, it should be really good, and hopefully there's like consistency among everything as well. That's kind of what we're going for. So
And Dane controls my audio.
I do.
So you hear any ungodly sounds, it's his fault. No. He also got me set up with a new 4K HD
yeah,
Blu-ray DVD camera.
we were well. That's part of the reason we started late because it's 4K tracking, and we had to turn off the tracking, and his computer wasn't liking loading the app. So
It
Yeah,
was
this is
it would
the
have been a
first time we
wild
can
stream
see
with it
we can see
tracking me
Connor's
everywhere.
dimples in 4K.
that's
No.
true.
Take
That
a
is
I never
true.
knew what he actually looks like till now.
look. I was just all pixelated the whole time.
Yeah, I just thought that's how you existed in real life. Even though
But yeah,
we've hung out in real life before, but
Yeah.
It was still
I
pixeled.
mean,
Cold
yeah.
glasses.
this looks better than real life.
I don't know how to take that.
well, hey, that's good because if you were aged, you'd look more aged,
That's true.
but no longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's good. So we're kind of getting to that point where we're upgrading kind of the stream quality for everyone. So yeah, continue to stop by Everlast and you'll see little by little things will start to be a little bit nicer, which is nice. So
For sure. Also, I'm Kyle, so I am the Fate Weaver. I also am the creator of this game, and I'm playing both with and against, and I feel like I'm playing a lot with the players lately, but against them too, as they make their name in Middle-earth. Not Middle-earth, oh my gosh, that's a different game. AME! Got me thrown off. No, as they make their way in Everlast and affect the events of the world. Yeah, a lot has happened recently for at least as far as like combat wise, and just like I feel like a lot of rapid fire events have been happening over the course of the past couple of months, which in reality in game time has been like a day.
It's good.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
little crazy. But before we do begin, just a reminder that Fantasy Forge Studios and Kyle LaFonte own all copyrights in the text, images, video, audio, graphics, story, gameplay mechanics, and all intellectual properties involved in the creation of Everlast. Don't take it and sell it for your own game, but feel free to use it for your own homebrews. And with that, we can go ahead and jump right into a little bit of a recap. And so, the Adventures of Eclaas. So, currently, this party is on an adventure to gather the keepers of the elemental keys, the protectors of the pillars. Currently, Eclaas is the holder of the Earth Key, and they have been commissioned by King Nalgora Cragheim of the Keeper of the Flame Key to go gather the 2 remaining keys to talk about what is going on as far as the events, the demonic activities and stuff that are happening within the Aishan Archipelago. And so off they went up to the north to the city of Feshenfey, where they talked to King Farron of the Feshenfey Elves, and they went on a nice little adventure. They saved Princess Mila from the Krakora, and they got word that King Farron will join them for this Council of the Keys. And with that, they brought along Princess Mila to Fulden Rock, where the next person, Aldreg Montclair, was last seen. And he is the holder of the Sky Key, and so they are currently in search for him. But once they arrived at Fulden Rock, all sorts of things happen. Not only are they on a manhunt for this missing person, but they are trying to figure out what's going on with kind of the underbelly of the city, and what first seemed like just kind of some street rats doing some street rat things turned into a auction of selling mysterious stuff to maybe potentially cultist activity, and most recently kidnaps and skeletons, literally the Walking Dead. And yeah, they were assaulting the Fulden Temple, which the Eclaas was successfully able to defend. And as they banished the likes of these evil creatures in the middle of the night, what is it, like 2:30 or something in the morning, they were also abruptly interrupted in their conversations with High Priest Godfrey by 2 familiar faces, one more recently familiar face by a man by the name of Pietrick, and another who was just revealed by the individual named Jack, who they had met, not in this adventure that since we've been streaming, but way back at the very beginning of the adventures in Helix. He was the one who commissioned them on their adventure. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the party. So the last thing that you remember is the group of you were having a discussion about we need to go to discussing what to do about this cultist lady that now you have this jar of phlegm. If you want to go and get it, I don't know, go to the ritual that is essentially supposed to take place. You guys essentially paid for a ritual in order to go, and so that's going to be at 3 a.m. And so you have about 30 minutes to make it there if you're able to do so. And yeah, and as you were having that discussion, in walked Pietrick and Jack. And that's
My name is Jake.
My name's Jake. His hood was over his face, and he it's like, my name is Jake.
Yuki's gonna drink a potion, by the way. She's not feeling great after that battle. She's a little beat up, so she's going to recover 40 HP with an improved healing potion.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. Yeah, that's good. Anyways, that's what she's doing. Oh!
Yes.
Hold up,
Yeah,
hold up.
yes.
As this is happening as well, Yuki is going to use one of her songs, because I think this is going to be the last time she's actually able to use it. She's going to use her Revelry song. I got to pull it up really quick. I'll get to you in a second what that actually implies, but just know she's using it right now.
All right, perfect. And as the 2 individuals walk in, they look beat to heck. Both of them. Definitely Pietrick more than Jack. But apparently they had been fighting through the dead as well, making their way to Fulden Temple. Pietric, there was concern on his face at the end of last session that he talked about that he was worried about the state of the temple, but also he seems to be coming with relatively urgent news, to which Jack, he takes his hood off and he is revealed to be the very same that you had met in Helix. As he stares at all of you, he has almost this kind of calm expression on his face, almost like maybe like visibly outwardly he looks like he's been through battle, but his face doesn't look grizzled or haggard at all to that degree. And he looks to you and he says, "My friends, I'm happy to see you're safe."
Wait, is that you, Jack? What are you doing here? Yuki pipes in.
He smiles a little bit, and as this song of revelry is going, and he sees that the group of you are still all together, and he says, "Well, Providence has brought me here, so it seems, and it seems that it is much done the same with all the lot of you. I didn't expect to be seeing you at so soon. What has it been? A year since the last that we met?"
Seems like longer than that. You're reflecting on it. But yeah, I think it has been about a year since we set out on this journey from Helix. What has happened? I mean, we don't have much time to talk about it, but why are you here?
Well, long story short, the task that I commissioned each of you on to hunt down and destroy these demons, it seems that you have made quite a name for yourselves. If you remember, not more than 6 months ago, you faced off against a demon by the name of Burbledao.
Oh, yes. Well, we've seen cult members of his here far too often, unfortunately. I didn't know that they still were around, considering the fact that the demon itself is dead at this
And that is
point.
precisely the reason why I'm here. And it is good to know that you have some information on this, as I came to investigate here at Fulden Temple to see if they had done anything to this wonderful establishment of Alamia's power and grace. And he looks to you and he says, "You see, after the events of what took down, of what happened at Fort Valalanthil, when you banished Burbledao, when you slew him," and he kind of like squints at the wing on the back of Zil. And he just kind of like fixates on it for a little bit before breaking his gaze and continuing to look at the rest of you. He continues and he says, "I and the Rangers of Helix, we did what we could to be able to rid the lands of Grandium from the threat of the cult of Burbledao. Yet they are slippery, and more importantly, they still have hope in the resurrection of their master. We chased them all the way to Port Grandium, and where they were able to board a ship, made their way eastward into the inland strait. And it has been since then that I, and with a crew of just a few, went in pursuit of them. Many of the ongoings that are happening in Grandium are still being taken care of by much of my cohort, but as of now, I have found it my duty to be able to chase them down until they are all but extinguished. At least their influence is extinguished from Everlast, which has brought me here. I did find their ship docked in the harbor, one that looks all too familiar, that I've been chasing for some time. And it is thus, for the majority of the day, I've been looking all over. There was a fire in one of the bays, and upon investigation, I knew that some devilry was at foot. And so, I went to the Adventurers Guild in order to find information on such matters, and at the Adventurers Guild, I met Pietric. He's a good man, strong man, and well, let's just say I went to sleep in one of the taverns, or one of the inns that are local to this place, and when fire started breaking out, when the dead had risen, I sought after Pietric, and the two of us have made our way here. And it seems quite fortuitous that we have found the group of you here as well. Perhaps you can help me with such a dilemma."
Yeah, We also the fire was us. We burned
Yeah.
down their ship.
Well, not
It's some real devilry, though.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, speaking of which, the ship that we burned down, though, I don't know if like the woman who was running that didn't seem to be a devotee of Burble however, so that was strange to me. Like, of course, we've seen devotees of Burble in our dealings, but she seemed to be like her ship had on it that was burning had Azaldun, Terror of the Sea, not Burble the demon. Are those connected in some way?
He furrows his brow and he says, "Unfortunately, I know not much of the ongoings in the Aishan Archipelago and the Inland Strait. It is mostly the Great Peninsula that I have most of my information of. I am currently in pursuit of the cult of Burble, but it doesn't surprise me if they have taken up league with other cultist groups and activities. There are many wicked demons that have made Everlast their home, and thus, I wouldn't be surprised if they are in league for some degree, for whatever purpose. I can only assume that it's bad and nefarious."
Well, speaking of which, I mean, I'd like to hear Belbin and Thordane's tale because they've been missing all day. We only just re-encountered them. I'm glad you both are safe, and Yuki kind of like shows a little bit of like
Yeah, why?
affect-
What happened to your clothes?
Thordane looks and he's like, "Don't I look ravishing?" As he's like wearing like his frilly courtly outfit. Is he still wearing that, or did he change it?
I think he is.
I think he is. Yeah.
We had all of our stuff taken.
That's a word for it, Thordane. Sure.
But who's taken? What do you mean, Belbin?
It was taken. We were kidnapped. We didn't. We just woke up in this ballroom setting, being served a nice dinner with great drinks. By the way,
Are you sure you weren't drunk?
I was drugged. I wasn't drunk. And Bellin will just tell him.
Smiles and he says, "Yes, he was quite out of it. He was walking around almost as if he were the Walking Dead himself."
Good one, Thordane. Funny as ever.
For science.
Bellin will just tell him the whole story. Do we even know where we were though? Like what building? Like, do we know?
Actually, I'm gonna have you make a wisdom skill check for me.
I think Thordane should too, because he was under the influence.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, Belvin rolled a 7.
Oh, wisdom? That's a dirty 16 for Thordane.
Belbin, you knew you were in Hightown, but as you basically were coming to, from the last thing that you remembered is you were in this ballroom, and then like you kind of came to a little bit outside of the complex that you were, but you were in a place completely unfamiliar, and then again you came to back at Fulton Temple, so it's a little bit fuzzy, but it looked like Hightown that you were in. However, Thordane knows exactly where he was, as far as once you found the main road, you could easily track your way to Fulton Temple. You were in, it was more in this district where the Aram Exchange was, where you were, to be specific.
And does Thornton explain this to the group?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, because we were actually in a building very close to that as well, getting these, and Yuki takes out her, basically her permit to be in Hightown after hours kind of thing. And we also got this, and she takes out of the gloof bag the slime, basically the ooze. And we actually paid for the services of that lady that we saw down at the bay, the Cult of Azaldun lady, and she's going to be performing something with this. However, that is not the intention of the party, obviously. But we still need to discuss what to do, because that's happening in like 30 minutes here. How are we going to go through with it? What is the plan here?
Well, you guys.
Well, we're
paid
obviously
for
not going to go through with it.
You guys paid for a jar of slime.
Well, it was more for like the ritual in the grand scheme of things. I'm thinking it was kind of expensive, Belbin. Not that you would know.
You paid a lot of money for the jar of slime.
Well, not just the slime, but for this. But I just have a feeling that something's going to happen tonight regardless of
Yeah,
whether
I
we're
think
there or not.
we should. It's a way in, and we can infiltrate and disrupt and destroy and stop their wicked ways.
I mean, I like to agree with you as well. However, I don't want to be walking into a trap as well. Zill and I were underneath where this ritual is going to be happening, and there's no way out. If we do happen to initiate combat down there, we would have to have Rolo Beaumont on our side. Otherwise, I don't know how we're getting out of there.
And Zill also chimes in and he goes, and it's curious too, because while we were down there, it seemed that there weren't a ton of people as far as that were in their hideout. And we were only able to see a few rooms of the area. It seemed to be quite extensive underground complex beneath Wolden Rock.
When did you all do this?
Well, you and what were you doing, Luxali? I don't remember.
Was
Oh
she
yeah, you were
getting
being
tea?
doted upon. She was being doted upon by the people, I think.
What?
Because remember, we ran out of the fire and we feigned injury and
Yeah.
rescue, right? I
Yeah.
don't remember where you were, Luxalia, per se,
Yeah,
but
we
Was
went to the
Luxalia
ship
with
after
us?
that.
I don't
she wasn't with
remember.
us. She
Yeah.
wasn't with us.
When
Oh,
was this?
so
you were
you
with
had
me
to
at the fire.
above game. You had to peace out, and so we left you at the inn looking for Lady Mila,
That's right.
Princess Mila, to see if she would
okay.
stop by again. Yeah. So yeah, we just happened to make our way underneath there, and yeah, it's just I don't know. Like if we do create a ruckus, I don't know if we're gonna get out, but I do feel like we do. I agree with you, Luxalia. You have to go tonight.
Yeah. Maybe like the priest here could like bless this so that it can't be used for something evil, and then it might even destroy their wicked something power. I don't know.
Are all sales final, or can you get your money back for this?
I don't think so. They
Uh,
seemed pretty serious about it.
I was
Hey,
glad
it's
I
an
wasn't there to give my
invitation
2 cents.
to disrupt something evil, Belbin.
Can't put a price on that.
I know. And you get to probably punch some things.
I need my stuff.
Yeah, Thordain chimes in.
Yeah,
I
I'm
needed
sure it's
two.
over there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean they did have a room. He did have a room full of like unique items.
Who's
And
him?
Rolo Beaumont, the man whose basement we're going to. However, it was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting though, because I think I saw the Gladys inside the auction house. I could have sworn I did. It looked exactly like it. However, when we were leaving, it was gone. And so maybe it's in the basement. I don't know. He says he collects rare things, but I don't know if he's necessarily
Zill
in.
chimes in and he's like, "Yeah, we went into a room," and he points to the jar that Yuki has and says, "Yeah, there were a lot of really valuable things from weapons and whatnot, but he said that this was the most valuable." And he points to the jar. He says that there's unlimited potential in here, where all of these are limited in their power. This has unlimited potential.
You guys are fools. I can't believe he pulled a fast one on you.
Well, we needed the papers more so than anything.
Belbin, and this is Zill talking. Hey, Belbin, I am a crime lord. Back in, I dealt with it. It's a long-term goal, right?
You got that
You
right.
went by Mysterious Bob back then.
Remember when
He looks at
where
you
you got that
confused.
one key from? I know you're a crime lord, but
Yeah, Mysterious
that was some
Bob.
grody stuff.
Totally Mysterious
You see some stuff when you're living in the gutter.
There.
You have to do some unsavory things.
Anyway. We all
This
know
is not
you're
the
a
time to
free
talk about
rat.
this.
Some people would think it's very savory. Thank you very much.
Wow, what are we even talking about, guys? Let's bring it back. What were you saying, Zill?
So, perhaps they have your stuff. Long story short. When we went to visit them the first time, it was still, I mean, I guess Belbin and Thordain were gone, but I didn't see any of their stuff when they were there the first time, but it also wasn't up for auction either.
Yeah, it's interesting, but at the very least, maybe we should try to equip ourselves better. Speaking of which, Jack and Pietrick, obviously now you know what is going on and what we're getting ourselves into now, and I apologize. I'm sure this is the first you've heard of us burning down that ship in the harbor, but it had to be done. Um, However, I don't know, what are your plans moving forward from here?
Jack looks to Pietrick and he says, "Tell me, when you were, because you described kind of just generally the
Mhm.
story of what you're going through, right?
Yeah.
You said you had mentioned that you saw some ongoings of Burbledao. That is my current task here. Uh, tell me, how can I be of assistance?"
Well, I don't know if they would necessarily trust any strangers coming into this ritual per se. I would be very
We're not
comfortable if you were
exactly
there.
friends.
No, I know, but at least they know we're coming, you know? I don't know. I just find that if it does go down, I don't know how we're gonna get out of that basement. Is there any way that maybe you could accompany us to Sootnash? At the very least, make it so that we can at least make an escape of sorts. It doesn't seem to be guarded from the inside per se. Like when you make your way down into the cellar after you, and I explained the whole process of how they do it. Basically, behind the counter, there's the little thing that they push, and basically a staircase descends into the ground. Um, if you hear commotion, try to open it if you can.
You mentioned something, and this is Pietrick now speaking. You mentioned something about that you had burned the ship in Foggy Bay.
Yeah.
How was it exactly that you were able to that they were able to just disappear like that in the mist without being seen by anybody?
Wait, are they? Is
I'm
he talking
confused.
about the people or the ship?
Rickett and the lady.
Oh, there was a cave, as far as we know. It was back in the corner, but by the time we got there, we had to make the decision whether to follow them into the cave or explore the ship.
Are you
And
suggesting there's a secret entrance exit into this basement from that cave?
You said it was underneath the island, didn't you? It was this Rolo Beaumont's basement. Is that correct?
Yuki's thinking about this for the first time. She's like, "Oh, yes. Well, I mean, maybe you and Pietra could go explore that." And basically, Yuki kind of gives them like its general direction in Foggy Bay of where shenanigans went down.
And Jack says, "Pietrick, if you would take Thordane there," and he points over to Thordane. Clearly, he is without his stuff. To go investigate Foggy Bay to see if you can find any way in and out. I think this is going to get a little bit messy, perhaps. We need to know any type of exit that could possibly be. I think my place would be best served confronting whatever evil this is. And
However, I do worry. Yuki brings up those spirits that we ended up killing. We didn't. Yes, we got rid of their corporeal form, but they also went off to the west, somewhere to. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I also worry about the temple here, Folden Temple, and its safety. Is there any way we could
She
get?
steps up and she says, "If it's any consolation, I can stay here and protect the temple."
Well, can you?
Oh yeah.
You and Master Godfrey.
High Priest Gottfried, do you
High
know
Priest
any manic arts? You're a man of faith, so I would assume you'd be able to know some things. And High Priest Gottfried, he says, "I do, of course, but I am quite unpracticed. It looks like you have a manic artifact there. It looks quite ancient, quite old. Yes, I have some ability to be able to use." And he goes into his kind of back study and he pulls out what looks to be a staff. And it kind of looks like a bishop's crook to a degree. And he pulls it out and he says, "It's been some time since I've used this in combat, but I think behind the stone walls of a Folden Temple, I think we will be safe, at least for the night."
Oh yeah.
Well, that gives us some peace.
We took care of the brunt of it. They still need to somehow regain
power, I assume. If they're
That's
gonna
true.
attack again, so
And Pietrix says, "You know what happens when you assume."
yes, body and soul straight into heaven.
Yes. I
That was
love
good.
that actually.
What? Is that not how it goes?
What's heaven? I thought it was Landisfrain.
Yeah, we call it heaven sometimes. In,
Oh, is that
the
Glyven?
Golden Sands. Yeah, it
And
is.
Jack
Oh.
says, "Yes, Father's house." And he looks up and he just like nods and looks back to you.
Yeah, yeah. Called many things amongst many people.
I see. Well,
Yeah.
I guess we should get moving. We don't have much time. Does anyone need anything? By the way, everyone make a DC, DC 10 or DC 7 charisma roll.
I'm so charismatic.
Let me know if you passed.
I passed. I got an 11.
I got a 14.
Roll
Jordan
for
passed,
Zill as
Yuki
well, Cole.
passed.
Oh yeah. Zill got. What was the DC? 7.
7, yeah.
All right. I think he's pretty charismatic. Ooh, yeah. He got a 13.
Okay. And this includes Jack and Pietric and everyone who's there listening. If you passed it, you get a
Is it only
blessing.
if you've participated in battle, or is it just general
No,
everybody?
anyone who heard the song. So,
Oh, yeah.
so if you didn't have a blessing, feel free to give yourself a blessing. But I think Yuki's already got one. So
Belvin's blessed too.
Pietric
too.
doesn't, but with a natural 16, Jack does. So
Ooh.
he's feeling blessed.
I might as well
Yeah,
use
He
it.
just
It's a-
radiates.
It may be the
Thornton.
last
Mila.
time. Thornton he had one already.
You look got an 18.
but- Whew.
She's feeling
But
blessed,
yeah,
too.
I mean, this may be the last time he's able to use this. So.
Belvin is going to drink a simple healing potion.
Thornton's gonna do the same. He's gonna do something. He's gonna drink or eat something. He's gonna eat
Sorry, I will also do that.
a simple healing.
Yes.
We don't want to burn you out, Luxali. We may need you.
Yeah.
Where are these?
Wait, restore plus 40 hit points to the user for an improved health potion?
They're strong.
Yeah.
It's just
The
a
improved
flat,
ones are
flat
strong.
number.
Gosh.
The simple is
Yeah,
good. It's 10.
The
10 is,
healing
yeah.
the healing herbs are a dice roll, but the potions are just a flat amount. So they're very
Oh.
rare and expensive. So use them wisely.
Oh, I've got a plethora somehow. So,
Nice.
You haven't been
Pretty
fighting
good.
combats too, so you kind of have a store of them. So
honestly, I kind of forgot I had them. There's also that.
for sure.
All right.
And so the plan,
great.
just for the players above game, what exactly is the plan? How are you dividing and conquering?
Well, Belbin, I'm assuming he's joining us to go punch some people in case it needs to be done, right?
Hey, I can do that. Or I was thinking maybe of going to the cave, just because Belvin doesn't know where Soot and Ash.
Well,
the
you could just
basement,
follow
the
us.
team.
I think
yeah,
you should
but
I think you should join us.
if the Team Rocket hideout, if there's an extra person,
Pietric's pretty cool though.
yeah. I mean, I'll
Thornton's
go
the
with you guys.
captain.
It'll be easier for the Fate Weaver to
Yeah.
leave
To
him.
help us,
So
yeah.
I'll go with you guys.
Okay. By the way, speaking to Pietric and
Jack.
Jack, is there anything you could spare for Belbin or Thornton in their nakedness? I don't think they're ready to go into combat, or even turns to
Well,
God.
Belvin's fine.
Just to be clear, yeah, I'm not naked and afraid. I am naked.
Thornton, remember, Thornton does have the short bow that Yuki
That's true.
gifted him, lent him for a time
that's
being.
true.
So
That's true.
with that being the case, Thornton's like, I'm pretty armed, but Pietric says, as far as carrying extra armor on us, that's not something that we just walking about town that we would
The Adventurers Guild?
perhaps.
Is that on the way?
It is, but it is not open at this hour.
But aren't you, like, in charge of it? Don't you have a key?
No, not at all. I just frequent it.
Oh,
A patron.
The guy who runs it's kind of cranky, if I remember correctly.
yeah, sorry. I got you two confused.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm much jollier than that fellow.
I'm not gonna lie. Pretty much everyone who's not like the 5 of us look very similar to me for some reason.
Wow.
I think that's called main character syndrome.
I mean,
LaFonte.
like, they all have their nuances and they're very like well differed, but as far as a visual goes,
There you go. There's
Seriously?
Patrick.
oh wow. I don't remember seeing the other guy.
Jack? Well,
No, the grumpy guy.
There you go. There's Jack. There's
Are
Patrick.
you
what
guys
is Jack, by the
related?
way?
Was that?
What?
Are they related?
No, but they're very similar as far as
Yeah.
their design.
They're like wearing the same colors and they got like a similar haircut.
Yeah, speaking of
They
which,
kind
why
of
do
look
you
like
guys
father-son.
why are you guys dressed the same? Yuki.
They look to each other and like, we're not dressed the same.
You gotta, as Luxalia said,
mean,
you're
you got
very
a nice-
coordinated.
Yeah, you got a nice like
Color
beige
coordination.
kind of tan thing going on. It's nice. I like it.
I don't know to take that as a compliment or not.
It's a good thing. Yeah, you look great.
It's okay, khakis in. these
Everything
days.
It
Sully
is,
says,
it
you
is.
never know how to take it. Just FYI.
Neutral is the new black, as they say.
It's good.
Yeah, just
Well, I guess-
just a basic description of like what they are wearing outside of like what you see in their photos. Jack is wearing very similar kind of robes, long robes. He's got like a little bit of like armor, like leather armor that are around like his shoulders and his chest area. But it's mostly just what look to be kind of your traditional like kind of like wizard's robes. He has a long cloak and then robes that go underneath. Where
Jack the Manasworn that helped us that one time.
when was it
He
in
helped
the
us
tower?
in the battle against
Yeah.
Burpledao, right? Yeah, the
No,
tower.
he didn't help in
attack?
the tower. He helped you in the tower with Mikhail and when like the undead were attacking it, if you remember.
Yeah. What was
I
he?
don't know.
Ian?
All I
What did
remember
he
is there was like a really OP Manasworn at one point, and you were like, Luxalia, that's what you're going towards.
Is
do? Wait,
that-
is that Jack?
That's
Yeah, isn't
Jack.
that when? Yeah, isn't that
Sick.
when Luxalia was cursed, or was it
Yeah, it
Yuki
might have been.
touched?
Oh, that's
some
right.
He doesn't
weapon,
touch mysterious
And
things.
he
does
was he's like one of the only guys in the game that'd be able to.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
That's
don't
right.
remember who
Someone
it was.
touched something very cursed. I don't remember who it was, but
It's
someone
probably
was just
Bill.
like, "Ooh,
I
this
think
is
I think it
nice."
was Luxalia.
Might have been me.
And yeah, you were pretty cursed, and then Jack removed the curse. That's
Yeah.
right, because you had to like go in and
Yeah.
like for like the first like few rounds of combat, you were getting the curse removed.
Yeah.
Okay. It's coming
Well,
back to
I'm
me
glad
now.
we have him with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stay with us.
Wait,
Jack.
so we have two light Manasworn? Let's go.
Patrick, on the other hand, he is wearing a just basically just like traditional clothes, and he has kind of like a leather like armored top, something that he could just like throw on and lace up. And he's got kind of like a small like rain cloak that he also has on him. So
Nice.
yeah, his fists are wrapped up too.
So yeah, I say we go in, and then when they're all like, "Ooh, spooky ritual," we go for Alumnia, and then just like, destroy their evil ways.
And Zill's just like,
You
as
give
long as I
them a
can whack
chance to
something with my
repent."
axe, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do worry though. I will say, I don't. Rolo seems to be definitely driven by greed, and he definitely seems to have evil intentions. However, I think he may not necessarily be the root cause of this. I think it just might be for the convenience sake of it. I wouldn't like to get into combat specifically with Rolo, so if we can avoid that, I think that would be smart. I think it's more this witch that we need to take
Yeah,
care
no,
of.
I agree. Like, try to kill as few people as possible.
And Zill, he
Maybe
chimes in.
nobody, if possible.
And Zill chimes in and he's like, that begs the question. How are we going to approach this situation? Are we going to go seeming like willing participants? And at what point are we going to... I think if we go in there with a plan, we would be much better suited. And
Yeah.
I think we should probably go if, as the...
Preferably,
he's thinking
yeah,
what time it is.
preferably, I would like the villain's dialogue to be said first. so we know what's going on. You know, villains they like to talk about what their plans are
It's a
and what they're
really
doing.
yeah. Good point. Good point.
Yeah. So
They
I'm
like
all
to
for
monologue.
yeah, they like to monologue. I'm all for going in acting like we're going to be doing this.
And then being all
However,
like, "Well, I'm not, uh, Randolph the Gray. I'm Randolph the Beige." And then you whip off your cloak. You remember that one? That's an old Cliven book. Oh, it's a good one. You should read
I was
it.
raised with that one. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That is the one
he's
thing.
like, what?
Randolph, I forgot about him.
Yeah, I know. He's just so cool.
Yeah.
Ah, you should really read it, Yuki. It's good.
Maybe when he gets some downtime, we haven't had much of that recently.
Yeah.
Zill's like, I think I remember a story about Randolph, but we called him Randolph the Stupid. Randolph
Oh.
the Lame.
Wow. Oh my.
Spicy.
All right,
Well,
well,
must
never
be a
mind.
I
different
guess
story.
Might be different people.
Yes. I guess that's the case. They do know that we are coming with company, other than just ourselves. So it shouldn't
Zill's
be an
like,
issue.
do
But
they though? Do they know? How would they know?
well, they knew
They saw
well, they
three
knew-
of us.
they saw three of us, but we also said we had other companions, didn't we, to Rolo? Because we added our companion Luxalia when we initially met him, but when we initially met Rolo, we were
But wait, wasn't
Just Zill and
Belvin
I.
really part of their evil way?
I don't know.
And also, wouldn't they recognize his face and the clothes that he's not wearing?
Maybe he should dress as something.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think you should disguise yourself.
It's the one time okay with wearing clothes.
Hmm.
High Priest Godfrey, you got any outfits?
I don't think they're gonna like Gus coming in wearing holy attire.
He may have outfits of other.
Yeah, like from the poor.
Right.
Raid
The
the
lost
poor
and
bin.
found. Right? The lost-
Yeah,
Oh,
Or
I bet there's a dark cloak in there or something.
Pietric, maybe you can give me some of your.
He
Well, High
looks to
Priest,
you
High
and
Priest
goes,
Godfrey, do you have anything?
High Priest Godfried says, as a matter of fact, and he points you over to a closet, and there's a number of garbs.
yeah.
It looks to be like his daywalker clothes as he's out in public.
He's a daywalker. Oh no.
And
no
he-
freckles, but red hair.
he grabs a few of things in order to try, and it's basically like commoner's clothes. And he does have what looks to be a kind of like a dark tan cloak, mostly used for rain. It looks pretty waterproof, and he lends that to you as well.
Well, it is raining.
High Priest Godfrey, do you have a razor by chance?
Of course. And he goes and he pulls out one of those fancy fancy
Like
razors.
a single
Straight
blade
blades.
razor.
Yeah, straight
Yeah.
blade.
Straight blade.
Mhm.
Ooh. Belvin will trim his face,
Ooh.
Oh,
And
you
his-
look so.
head, and
Oh.
all of his facial features. That's
Sculpting
covered in
it.
hair. Yeah,
Nice.
maybe keep a whisker or two, but
Yeah, yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Wow, you look
And
like
it's
a different
surprising.
Cliven.
Actually, Belbin, I'm gonna have you make a dexterity skill check for me.
oh no,
Oh, no.
with the straight way. But that's
Also,
good.
guys-
I'm not.
I gotta get going here, but best of luck and don't kill
All right.
Luxalia.
No promises.
I'll
19.
try to not let any of you die.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Cole. Have a good one.
We'll
Yeah,
see you,
good
Cole.
night.
19.
19. You do it with insane precision and speed. You're just like,
It's not
and
my
you
first
shave
time.
your entire face. Are you doing the body too?
Do we have time to do the body?
Probably not. You have clothes on, so you're not.
We'll do. We'll do the parts of the body that you might see, like forearms. You can leave the chest.
Just a
the
naked
chest,
dog.
though. Yeah. Make
Okay,
it
with
more,
that, you can get most of it done pretty quickly without any nicks.
All right.
It's quite impressive. And at this point, Thordane and Pietric have already left, made their way out, going down to kind of the southern part of the city by Foggy Bay. Princess Mila, she is sitting on one of the pews, kind of in the back. I guess it's not pews; it's like pillows, like on the floor. She's sitting on one of those, and by the time you are done, everybody is good and ready to go. Jack, he seems to have drawn his hood as well, and he has his staff in hand as he waits for the group of you to be able to depart. At this
Can we
point, you have
send
about
Luxalia?
10 minutes to arrive at Sutton Ash before. Was that?
Can we send Luxalia with Thoradane?
Do we want to though? It's nice having her. She saved all of her stuff for this
We
battle.
got Jack though.
We have 2 healers. We could go all out. We don't have
We
to hold
won't
back.
die. That's fair. All right, I'm fine with keeping it. Okay. If Thoradane dies,
Yeah.
it's not the worst thing.
Oh my god. Poor Thor.
Luxalia's like, I
The
really want
curse
to
of Thor.
come. I really want to see what happens.
All right. Well,
If
I
there's
guess we're
evil
ready.
to be had, I will banish it.
Well, let's make sure that we're covered up. At the very least, it's raining out there, so it shouldn't be suspicious us going through. But Belbin, make sure to keep close to, maybe stay in between us, because I don't think you have papers to get through this high town at night. Do you?
We're already in Hightown.
I know, but we
Oh,
gotta
you're getting
leave
out
high
is what you're saying?
We gotta leave high town to go through.
Oh, don't worry about that. I can
Oh,
climb. I can climb
okay.
a wall if needed.
All right.
And as
Sounds
you,
good. All right.
you depart
Okay.
into the streets, and it's curious because it's almost as if there wasn't even a battle here minutes prior. As you go kind of your ways, you make your way across to the main road to the main gates, and it is again just to repaint the picture for you. It is super foggy and really heavy rain, and so you're pretty much only guided by the light of the lanterns that are lining the streets. And by the time you make it to the checkpoints between Lowtown and Hightown, you see that there's one guard that's basically standing facing out towards you. He's underneath there's like a small little portcullis that's there, and he's underneath it keeping dry from the rain, and he says, "Stop! Papers, please." Or Belbin, what are you doing? How are you trying to avoid detection?
I'm not even with the group when he goes up there. I'm gonna peace off beforehand, and they'll be my distraction while he's checking all their papers. I'll try to.
I'm gonna have you make a stealth check with hope.
Ooh. It's pretty good.
The weather helps a lot.
Yeah, the first one was a natural 1, so that's real good. Stealth is an 11.
Okay, you're able to slip off into the night. What is your plan of getting through?
Jump in the wall.
Okay.
Is the wall climbable? I'm
The wall
assuming it
is climbable. It's more climbable on this side. So the way that it's set up is there's kind of like this. It's kind of like a moat. It's like a river, but it's basically ocean water that comes through on the center of the island. And it's a moat that has about 20 feet across, and it's very difficult from the Lowtown side to get into Hightown. However, the wall is on the Hightown side, and so you can easily just approach the wall and climb it. And with the weather and that stealth check, you would be able to do so. I'm gonna have you make a dexterity check. It's gonna be, because of the rain, it's gonna be at despair, but you can still potentially make the climb.
Okay.
It's a 15-foot wall, by the way.
Natural 1 for 6.
Oh my god.
Those were
You
like
got blessing if you want to
back to
use
back.
it.
Yeah, I probably should.
You don't want to fall into the moat.
Yeah, that. All right. Okay, that's much better.
Okay.
Dirty 16.
You are able to scale the wall. You at first kind of like test it a little bit and see that it's a pretty well-made, relatively new construction. But you're trying to figure out if it's even possible to climb. At first, you think it's impossible, and then you see that there are kind of some grout lines that you're able to dig your claws into to be able to scurry up quite easily. And you do so. And by the time you get on top of the wall, you look to your left and to your right, and there's nobody that you can see on top of the wall. But from your previous excursion down to Foggy Bay, you know that they do have guards that do walk the perimeter of the wall. as well. But you're successfully able to make your way on top of it. And with that, we'll go back down to Yuki, Luxalia, and Jack and Zill. And the three of them are able to show the papers as well.
Wait, Jack has papers too?
He's using the one that Princess Mila had, or not Princess Mila.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, no. So you had 3 papers?
We had 3 papers.
Okay, so you have 3 papers. Technically, he does have papers, I guess, from Pietric, probably. And so he is able to show his papers to get through the checkpoint. And without much fuss, you can tell that this guard...
I'm just questioning how Thornton gets
That's what I was thinking too.
Thornton, They do the Belbin. They pull a Belbin. They climb the wall. We don't worry about them. They're fine.
Yeah, don't worry about them. They're
We'll ask them
probably
later.
okay. But as the gates open, he tells you to put it up, and he moves to the side. He seems almost like he doesn't want to be bothered by this. He doesn't even question like the time of night that you're making your way out, especially because you look armed to the teeth as well. And Belbin, as you peer over the edge, you see walking down the walkway the group as they kind of look in both directions to see if they see you. There is like I had mentioned, like a kind of like a causeway that goes up towards the... You can either jump down there or you can attempt to leap onto the bank on the far side.
Oh my god.
Let's roll for it. I'm going down the causeway.
Okay.
You're able to finagle your way down. There are no guards on this side, actually, because the way that this portcullis is, it's not like a traditional like gates. It's like an iron like portcullis essentially that goes up and down. And so the person that would be letting you through would be that one guard. And so Belbin, I'm gonna have you make one more stealth check for me, and it can be with hope as well. It's easy to be stealthy in this weather.
Yeah, that'd be 17.
17. You're very easily able to do so and rejoin the group, making your way down into Lowtown. And as you walk, you actually notice that there are no lanterns or anything that are lit here. It is very dark compared to the lit streets of Hightown. But actually, I'm going to have Yuki. I'm going to have you make a wisdom skill check for me.
That's a natural 16 for... What is that? Wisdom, you said? For a 19.
Following the path to Soot and Ash, you take a turn directly to the right as you walk down, and you, out of the corner of your eye, you see what looks to be a couple of bodies laying on the side of the road. They have been moved and pushed up, almost as if they have been attempted to be hidden. And they look to be what look to be the uniforms of guards. They have been slain to a degree. But
so they're dead?
They're dead. And they've been kind of pseudo-hidden in the bushes to a degree, like off to the side here in Lowtown. But as you continue on, you do notice that there is a small light off in the distance. And as you approach Soot and Ash, you notice that it is the only light. It's like a small lantern that hangs right out in front. It's the only lantern that is even lit in this entire place, as far as you know.
Can we expect a red sunrise in the morning?
That's what I'm feeling like. I'm not feeling good about what's about
Blood
to
has been
happen.
spilled
But
this night.
Yuki's very concerned about those dead guards, and she's going to want to have to check on them afterwards.
Did you say that their uniforms had been like taken?
No, they still have like their uniforms and everything, but they
Okay.
it was obvious that whoever killed them tried to hide them.
Can Belbin try to take one of their uniforms?
They allow you in there?
Yeah, you can do that. There's
The
no one
guard
watching, so you could easily just grab one of their uniforms off.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, why not?
Might
Zill,
come
I'm
in
gonna
handy
have
a bit.
you, or not Zill, Belbin, I'm gonna have you make a faith survival check for me.
Nice.
4.
Oh my god.
You gain 3 points of misery.
Oh, stop doing hood rat things.
I gotta let the dead just be.
You got some sweet clothes though.
You do.
Yeah.
So essentially, what you're able to add to your inventory is you're able to get a Kyros. It's just a iron Kyros.
Nice.
Additionally, you get a Salet helmet, which I would have to create an item. So you could just write that down, just Salet helmet. And if you took any like other gear from them, they hold spears, and so they have an iron spear as well with them.
How are you doing on your vice, Belbin?
Fantastic.
No, I don't like that.
I just updated it. 5 out of 11. In
Oh!
Dice.
Belbin. It's okay. It's okay.
It's good. It's good.
You'll just have to spend your next holiday phase
That's how I have to spend all my holiday phases.
making amends. I feel really bad. I stole these dead people's armor on the side of the road. Oh,
And
gosh.
as you make your way to the front doors of Soot and Ash, you are actually, Belbin, you join the group there, and they're already knocking, and a slat in the door, it's actually a very well-hidden slat, opens up, and his eyes look upon you with familiarity, and this is Asher Corvus, the
guy.
main proprietor of Soot and Ash, and he looks to you and he says, "Oh, you look familiar. What are you here for?"
Zill says the password.
And he nods.
What was it? A candle strikes or whatever, something in the night. Yuki doesn't know.
Zill knows the password. He opens up and he opens the door, and you see that he's in what looks to be like pajamas. He has like his little night hat and everything, and he's just like, "We were expecting people. You say the password, but," and he kind of narrows his gaze at you. It's like, "Why are you here at this hour?" And he's rubbing his eyes.
So we're here to see the boss, Yuki says. It's urgent.
Urgent. You
We have
say?
an appointment with him at 3 a.m.
Oh, that's you. Yes, of course. And he goes over to behind the counter, and he pulls the lever, and immediately, from blending into the floor, this passageway opens up to the group of you, and he's like, "You brought friends with you. I'm assuming that he's expecting that you're bringing more than." "I'm too tired to have to worry about this," as he issues basically you down. But you notice as well that he doesn't really wait for you as he begins to climb the stairs back up to his place. He locks the front door, but he goes back up to his
Oh, does he
room
not
that's up the stairs.
Does he not close the stairway down?
Doesn't seem like he is.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Well, we make our way down, I guess, and I say, and basically at this point on the walk over, Zill and Yuki kind of inform the group how to address him, saying he's not refer to him as the boss, essentially. Don't refer to him by his name Rolo. Make sure, at least if we're going to keep our cover, just those of you who weren't with us, stay quiet. Don't say much. Yeah.
And Jack, he nods, and he whispers to the group of you. He says, "So you say you've been here before. What are we expecting going down here?" And he closes his eyes, and he opens them, and he says, "I feel a dark presence down here."
There are. Yuki recalls, she's like, there's a couple rooms. The initial rooms have a few guards. In order to get through those specific rooms, they need to let us through those specific rooms. But once we get in, we take a left, and it is his eating quarters. I don't know if that's where we're going to be going through. However, past those doors through the eating quarters is where I'm assuming this ritual is going to be. It gave me the creeps walking through it, but it was some sort of altar of sorts, but it didn't look anything like it was a devotional to Alamnia. And then if you continue through that room to the right side of the altar, that's where the room with all of the goods for sale, interesting goods are. So that's
nods his
all
head.
we know.
He nods his head, and he says, "And before we do go, I need some very important information from the group of you." And he kind of narrows his gaze at each of you, and he says, "What is the intention that they are seeking to do with this? You mentioned that there is a ritual.
Yes.
What does this ritual entail? If I'm to be a
From-
part of this, I need to know every bit of information that you do, just in case.
From what the lady who we're going to be meeting at the auction said, she said that we will become the masters of death. So she's going to be using this. So, well, she's not going to, but she would be using this slime as a sense and taking its potential, as Rolo would put it, and turning it into pure. It's basically giving us the power over death, is how she explained it. Obviously seems horrible, seems awful. Nothing of Alamnia, and it definitely isn't. Especially coming from that woman. I mean, once you see her, you'll know. You'll see the creeps that we all get from her when we see her. But the reason we actually bid for it, at least speaking for myself, is the fact that in that auction house there were so many different factions and so many different people who look like they could use it for absolute evil. And so it was more of a way to ensure that, at least for now, this night it wouldn't be used for evil. Meaning, we are probably going to have to deal with this and put an end to this tonight, because if we fail in that objective, I have a feeling this is just a common slime. She could do it with anyone else.
He nods his head and he says, "Noted." And you can proceed down the long hallway, eventually making your way to the iron door that was presented before you. And as you reach up to knock, Zil actually is the one who takes the lead. And he says, "We are here to get what we paid for." And it is like most basically assured voice. And about 5 seconds pass before the slit opens, and it's a pair of very familiar eyes. It was one of the two individuals that were sitting at the table, and he says, "Back again, are you? All right. It's a full house tonight." As he opens the slat, or closes the slat and opens the door, you can hear this creaking hinge as it goes, and you're led into this entry room. And again, as I had mentioned previously, it's no bigger than probably a small like bedroom. And there's a table at the right, and there's nobody there except for this individual. However, as you enter, you can hear that there is some low murmuring chatter from what sounds to be many individuals that are here. The people that are here, it doesn't seem like this is going to be something that is private at all. As you're led through, and he says, "One," and you can hear him, the man who let you in, counting under his breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you today, is it?
That would be correct.
That checks off. You said there were 5 companions of yours, and it looks to be
We
5 of you.
did. We did say that, didn't we? Yeah, things you forget when it's been weeks. Nice.
And Zil says, he continues and he says, "Well then, we are expected. Where are we to go? Which door?" And he points to the 2 doors, because there's one at the straight ahead at the far end, and then there's one to the left. The one to the left was the dining room that you went into previously. The one straight ahead you have not been through. And the man in the front, he says, "But a moment," and he goes over to the one at the far end, not the dining room door, and he opens it and he closes it. And as he does so, you are alone in this room for but a moment. So if you have anything that you need to do, now's the time to do it.
Yuki keisters her void and vorpal broadsword just in case. Just in case. She takes it
Keisters
off
it?
her hip. Well, no, she takes it off her hip and kind of sticks it down her pant leg, in the back.
Okay.
Just in case they decide they want to frisk. Or not frisk, but like make us give away our weapons and whatnot. And she's also going to look around and see if there's any levers or anything that control any of this, any locks, keys potentially, that are about.
Make a wisdom skill check for me. Belbin, are you doing anything in the meantime? This is the first time that you're in this area, so you're just kind of taking everything in, but
Oh, that's a 12.
Felon was told to sit there and shut up, so he's not doing much.
Does it mean you have to be useless?
He's focusing on the the despair that he just gained. It's like, wow, I do need to change my ways.
What was that? 12 you said, Dane?
12, yeah. Yeah.
So as you look around, it seems to be just like a pretty traditional entry. There doesn't seem to be many secrets behind here, but you do see, as you kind of examine the fixtures and everything around, it looks pretty empty for a reason. However, in the one corner where your weapons were taken earlier, you notice that there are no weapons or anything that have been placed there, where there were a few of them that were there before. And as you kind of like get your bearings, the door opens again, and you see what looks to be Rollo Beaumont, flanked by two other men who look to be part of this guild. And he basically walks up to you, and he gives you kind of like this like crooked smile, and he says, "Ah, there they are. Worthy customers." As he comes over and he holds out his hand to Zill specifically to give a handshake. Zill shakes it back, and he says,
The mob boss.
Now. Tonight is going to be a night to remember. This is the first of which rituals we will be performing here, perhaps at regular. And I will be curious to see what ends up happening in the course of this. Are you excited? Are you ready? The power of death at your fingertips.
This is above game. I just realized I don't have any of my stuff, so I can't take that simple healing potion. So just a note.
You probably could have told one of the other people. I'm sure they would have let you
Had I
borrow it.
remembered, yeah, had I remembered.
I think they would have known. Yuki can let you take a sip of her simple healing potion. She would have done so.
It just in the room, Yuki's just like,
You're Bowman. Don't talk. You're injured. gives him a. Actually, let's take a look really quick. I have. What's your HP at? How are you doing?
Well, before that, I was at 52,
Out of
89.
Okay, she's gonna give you a sip of a reliable health potion. So
Oh
that's
my
20
gosh.
points.
That's too much.
That's what she has. She doesn't have any simples.
All right.
but anyways, as this is happening,
You're too good to me.
Rollo, he looks to you and he says, "So much power." As he shakes his coin purse at the side of his hip, and he says, "And so much wealth." And he looks back up and he meets the eyes of Zill, and he kind of looks and pulls him closer, and he says, "Welcome to the club." As he opens the door, and again, this is the door that's specifically like right ahead. And as you enter kind of like this long kind of narrow corridor, it's like, so as you walk through straight, it's long, so you walk through straight, and then it's long this way horizontally. And so there are many doors that are on either end, and they go all the way down and actually vanishes into the darkness. This is just a very, very long hallway. But if you turn to the left, you see that there are there's a small kind of another iron door that is there, and he leads you there as the group of you, the two kind of bandits flank the back of you, and you're kind of sandwiched in between them, and he opens the door, and inside you are greeted with...
Are you sure his nickname's Rollo and not Diddy?
Yeah, jeez. You're greeted with a very familiar room. And it is lit. There are 6 flames that are in up on this kind of like altar place. It's made of blackened marble, and they're all shining blue. And as
The same ones we saw on the ship.
Same ones you saw on the ship. Same ones that you saw coming through here earlier.
Oh, terrifying.
Sorry, same blue flame that we saw like burning the church down.
Same
Yeah,
blue flame you
that's
saw
interesting.
burning the church down.
All right. Even put 2 and 2
who am I
together.
missing? I'll check.
Off to the west.
5 of you. As the group of you are brought in, let me go ahead and we can take a short break as I set up this room.
Cool.
We will be right back, so don't go anywhere.
Bum bum bum.
Bum, bum, bum. If you guys will go ahead and mute yourselves. When my camera, well, I'll just give you one of these guys when we're ready to jump back in.
We're good.
We are back. I think we're good. All right.
We have some
Destiny-
housekeeping quickly.
Yes.
So that Kuros that Belbin got, what
Yes.
does that do for him?
It's just an iron Kuros. It's just an armor.
So what is it? What extra does it give him?
I don't know if he is proficient in armors. It won't give him any extra bonuses, really. But
Are you proficient in the Kuros?
No.
So you got 3 points. Misery.
so you have a
Play a
spear.
guard at some point in the future.
You have
Thank
you
you
have
very
you have an
much.
iron spear too in the Salet helm. What that does is it reduces a ranged attack damage by -1 when you get hit
That's
with it.
pretty good.
So you could technically wear the helmet without having to be proficient in helmets.
And
They
just
ask
look like
you-
a fool.
Yeah. They actually like some dude outside was dead and he wasn't using it,
You didn't need it.
which is true. Belbin's not lying.
So, yeah, you're probably better off just like not wearing any armor at the moment. So,
Except for the
That's what I
helmet.
figured.
the helmet, yeah, you could be wearing the helmet and just like commoner's clothes. It's a good disguise.
If I wear it in the future, would people recognize me as a guard?
If you had the complete outfit ensemble, yeah, probably.
Okay.
Especially with like the helmet, it kind of covers your ears. You could probably hide your tail.
They're gonna,
Okay.
they're gonna look at you and they're like, this guy is on crazy pills. Who is this guy out of his mind?
1 adventurer. I'm just getting what I have. I was able to
Like,
choose
what
one
do you-
piece of gear, and I decided to do the helmet.
And steal it from a guard that's outside. At the very least, it tells him that he's gutsy.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Anyway, sorry,
exactly.
sorry.
You enter this room and you see that it is a large space, and it's laden with what looks to be a few of the men that are basically loyal to Rollo Beaumont, but also you see that there are a number of people in familiar black feathered cloaks, people that you saw from the auction, Yuki, and Luxalia, and they look to be of the cult of Burbledao. As you examine them, I'm going to actually have the two of you make a focus skill checks for me.
Why there's so many people? I just realized all those are people. I should have put 2 and 2 together when you're placing those out there, but that was the first time I've. Okay.
Focus is a 15.
Woo!
Belvin's locked in after taking the misery.
That's an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yuki, you automatically identify them as being of the cult of Burbledao, as they are wearing the very familiar kind of like a raven attire. However, Belbin, as you your eyes wander up towards the front, this is a lit room. It's dimly lit with like a kind of this eerie bluish light. You see that there are a few individuals that look to be if not higher ranking, then skilled in whatever they have. So these men that are down at the front here, they seem to be carrying what look to be clubs. There are 2 people that are flanking the sides up here, and they are carrying what look to be blackened swords. And they're out and drawn, and they're looking. Everybody that's up here on the altar, their backs are turned and looking up towards this altar. You see that there are 2 people that have kind of like this like magical like rods as well that are flanking the sides, and you see someone who looks familiar. This is Rickett, who's up on the side, and he's kind of just like looking kind of cowering. As he, the doors open and the group of you walk in, he looks to the front and he kind of gives like a wave to like Rollo, but like Rollo kind of gives him like this look, and he like, kind of just like still is like kind of cowering at the side. However, Belbin, what you do notice is there is someone who looks very, very familiar to you. And it's this individual that's standing here at the center. The doors open and everybody that are up here are turned around, but this guy turns around to greet you, and his, he smiles. This is the man who had kidnapped you, the one that was at the ballroom, and he removes his mask and he says, "Ah, yes. The sacrifice has been made. The ritual is ready."
Does he recognize me, or does my disguise?
I'm gonna have you make a stealth check for me.
Belbin's wearing a helmet.
He's wearing a helmet.
And he's hairless.
I'm a hairless man. 7.
Does not seem to immediately recognize you, as you're kind of just tucked away kind of in this back corner of the group. But he says, "The sacrifice has been made, and the ritual is ready. Who will be the one receiving the gifts?" And Rollo turns around and he looks to all of you and he says, "First and foremost, do you have the goods?"
Yuki nods and looks to Zill and says, "Zill, are you the one who's doing this?"
And he looks around and unsure about exactly what's happening. And I'm going to give you guys a brief second to quickly decide what's going on.
Belbin doesn't need the misery.
Belbin can take the misery.
No, he can't.
He can throw something, or he can push Zill to make him trip or something like that.
No. I mean, Zill's kind of like the head honcho of the group right now, like in the eyes of Rollo.
Well, who has the jar of slime right now?
Yuki has it in her bag.
Does Yuki? I thought it was Zill. No, you have it?
No, yeah, Yuki had it in the gloof bag. Because we weren't sure if it was, before we just realized it was normal ooze, we thought it might be something cursed and sort of just like put it in the gloof bag.
Okay.
So it doesn't get
Gloof can take
curse
the
us.
curse. He's
Or
already dead.
Gloof, he's dead. It's a cursed backpack.
We could revive Gloof. I think we pitched that
Gloof
idea
will be the
last
master
time.
of death. You just take the backpack. You're like, we have found our vessel.
This will be. And Yuki whispers over to Zill and says, "It's you. I think they know you better than anyone else." And she gestures to the wing cloak. I think they're gonna trust you more than the rest of us.
And Zill, he nods, and as he does so, he grabs the jar from you, and he walks forward and presents it to Rolo Beaumont, who takes it and says, "Oh, good, you've kept it nice and safe, I see." And he begins to walk the jar forward all the way up to this part of the altar. And he turns around and he says, "Well, come forward." And as Zill begins to take a couple of steps, actually, I'm going to make a skill check for him.
I'm gonna say, "Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! Lions, tigers, and bears.
bears,
Oh my!
Lions,
Lions, tigers."
He got a 5 for
Oh,
his...
He's got blessing if he needs it.
I'll go ahead and use that blessing, because...
Yeah, that's real bad.
Better.
That's no good.
14.
Aye.
On his faith survival check. He continues to walk forward as he makes his way to the altar. He stops, and as he looks to see...
Can we follow? Can we
If you want to, you can...
follow as a group?
Guys, let's follow him as a group. Great. I don't like this. Yeah, Zill's outnumbered up there.
Yeah, we gotta go. If they tell us to stop, then we can make a change.
So I'll go this way. Yeah, I'll go this way.
I'll tiptoe.
Yeah, just right there. Tiptoe.
make stealth checks for me with despair.
What?
You're just
I thought we were
whispering
being
to each other.
very quiet.
Go very quiet.
That's a minus. No.
I got a 6. Those were just both really bad rolls.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. That's not terrible. 13.
The guards, they go, stop, one at a time. The ones on either side of you. They don't look all that burly or tough, but they have confronted both of you as you attempt to move.
One at a time? What does
One
that
at a-
mean?
I
I thought we
think-
were supposed to follow him.
I think that means that you can go, right, Yuki?
Oh, yeah,
Why don't
yeah,
you try to
I
go one
will.
at a time?
And she's walking kind of like she's got limp in her leg because she got a sword down her pants.
And as you do so, this guard comes over and he puts a hand on your shoulder and he says, stop.
Okay.
Only one.
Wait, I thought what? I'm confused. Didn't she say to follow?
And he just like
guess I
looks
just-
at you stoically. And while this is happening, Zill makes his way and he kind of stands like at the front before ascending these steps. And he looks to either side at the two Burble Dow cultists. And the two of them, they give like a deep bow and they say in void speech, praise Burble Dow.
Oh my god.
And he stops for a moment, but he does continue forward up the steps to where he is right behind Rolo Beaumont, who hands the jar off and stands over to the side a couple of paces, and Zill goes forward, and the individual removes his mask and he looks down to Zill and he says, I sense something about you. Something special. And he looks to the cloak that's upon Zill's back, and he has the
Is
jar
his
in
Peter
hand,
tingling?
and he circles kind of a bit, and he looks kind of like Zill stands there, still facing basically the back of the room, and he basically takes his hands and like brushes off like any crumbs or anything that are on the side and off of his shoulders, and he says, this is impeccable craftsmanship. I'm gonna ask you later where you got this. And he continues his circle all the way up to the front, and he says, I sense something in you. Something that'll bring glory to our fallen master. I think you will do what is right with the gifts that are given to you. And Burbldow shall live again. And he walks the jar
Can we
up.
hear this?
Yeah, it's
Can we
pretty
hear this back
audible.
here?
It's pretty audible.
Okay.
And this guy walks up to the altar and he places the jar on the altar, to which at the other end of it is the sorceress that you had seen, that at least Yuki, Luxalia, and Zil had seen earlier at the auction. And she is now dressed in what look to be these long, kind of like purple flowing robes. She has her hair is actually quite interesting. It's kind of like calico hair, where it's like half of it's become like blackened, and then half of it like is white, and it just kind of like Cruella de Vil look, but it's like long and it drapes over. And in the blue light, like her pale elvish skin, because she's fashion fail, kind of almost like shimmers in the glow of it, and she looks ethereal, as it were. And as she looks she grabs the jar and she says, "Wonderful. Seems that we have an audience here tonight."
Yuki, at what point do we stop this? Yuki's kind of looking over her shoulder at like Jack and Luxalia and kind of seeing how they're faring as this goes.
Luxalia
And
looks
she-
uncomfortable as heck. Uncomfortable as heck, and she has like tighten her like hands, like her staff, and she's just like looking up, like eyes like piercing up at the front. And Jack, he's got a nice calm expression on his face, and he's just standing patiently as all this is happening.
Yuki will turn to Belbin and kind of just be like, when it hits the fan. When it hits the fan.
It seems like we're close to that.
I agree. So make a decision on which way you're going.
I'll take this card out to my left.
Luxalia, take the one out to the right. I'm going right up the middle.
Sounds good.
I got a sword in my pants. I gotta unsheath it.
Down the middle solves the riddle.
Luxalia's like, "I thought you were a lady."
Well, I thought we were gonna get frisked, and no one would dare frisk a lady in her pants. If they knew what was good for them.
Okay.
And Jack, I don't know what you can do. I know you can do a lot, but we try to keep Rolo alive.
And he says to the three of you. He says to the three of you. He says, "Patience."
Okay.
Shut
And
up.
his eyes break and go back up to the front. What was that?
He's like, "Shut up, the good part's coming." All right.
And as the elf takes this jar, she uncaps it, and out of the side, basically this slime crawls up the jar and flops onto the altar. And she takes it. She doesn't touch it with her hands, but she takes out this rod that has kind of this bluish glow, and she casts kind of like this spell, and the slime begins to levitate as it makes its way over to a bowl that's on the center of the altar. And then immediately she releases it, and it basically jiggles inside this bowl, but the surface of the bowl is unclimbable, and so it's unable. It's like you can see that like there are kind of like tendrils of the slime that are like trying to reach out, but it keeps slipping down the side of it. And she says, "Good. I have been freshly charged with the power." And she looks over to down beside the altar, and she picks up what looks to be a grimoire, and she places it on the side of the table. I'm going to actually have the two of you make wisdom skill checks for me.
Oh, nice. 18.
6.
At least
Not the nut.
that's fine.
Yuki, laden on all around this table, you can see what look to be fresh corpses. And in and around this table, they're corpses of people that are dressed in very similar attire to what Thordane was wearing when you had met him. and there look to be 6 people in total that are here, and they seem to be joined together, almost kind of like this, like around to where it completes a circle around this altar.
But they're dead.
They're
They are
dead.
dead.
They're very dead.
Yuki turns to, or not turns, but kind of whispers over, and she's like, "There's corpses up there," and she's like, "If I've learned anything from our adventures with this kind of thing, we need to get those as far away as we can from the actual ritual itself."
If I've learned anything, it's don't mess with the dead.
I mean that too, but they're already there, and we don't want them to properly use the sacrifices. I don't like this. This is worse than I thought it was gonna be.
And with that, in the bowl, she takes out this grimoire and she says, "Now everybody gathered here today, what you are about to witness is something that up until recently has been deemed impossible. No more than 3 months ago, we uncovered something," and she points to the book, "from the depths of the ocean. An ancient power resides within these texts. If one wishes to be the master over death, a sacrifice must be made. Payment." And she looks to all of you. "Payment has been made. Willing sacrifices. Now you." And she looks directly at Zill, and as she says "you," her eyes begin to blaze with the same blue flames that are around, and the flames flicker. "Now you are to be the vessel for this power, are you not?" And Zill nods his head, and he kind of like looks back over his shoulder, and then looks back and he says, "Yes, I am." And she says, "Good. Approach." And Zill is going to make a faith survival check for me.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Can I talk to the guard while this is happening and say, when can I go up? Just out of curiosity.
And the guard goes, "Shh, the good part's coming." Oh gosh. Holy crap. That's gonna be a 9. The Zill's got some sick faith stat, but that is 9. And he goes, "Okay," and he gains 1 point of misery.
Oh, poor Zill.
As
Good
he
thing Belvin
begins
didn't come.
as he begins to step forward. Where does he have his misery?
Can Belvin try to sneak up again?
Make a stealth
To
check
where
for me.
Yuki looks back at Jack and just like,
Won't believe
this.
it. Natural 1.
Oh my god.
This is a third one tonight.
As you begin to try to sneak around, the guard's like, "I warned you, and I won't warn you again." And he has basically his sword pulled out, and as he has it pulled out, he's like, "You will stay, and you will watch. It is not your turn yet."
When will it be my turn?
Once the ritual is complete, you...
So he gets all of it?
And he nods his head, and he says, "Now don't test me. I am under direct orders from the boss. You best do the same. Sit
What's your name?
quietly."
I'm standing.
Shh. As he tells you to be quiet, as he's like kind of like half like trying to like pay attention to like what's going on up there. He has his sword drawn, but he's just like, "Just stop! You're ruining it for me." That's kind of the impression that you get.
Nobody likes people who talk during the movie.
Exactly. And
how's Jack? Is Jack enjoying it too?
Jack still has the same kind of stoic calm face as he's just like watching this happen. As Zill begins to walk up and approach, each step as he climbs begins to grow. Like there's almost kind of like this like weight that's like being thrust upon him, and kind of above game, he is feeling the Peter tingle. He is, as with each step that he takes, like he's like feeling like almost this oppressive force begin to try to like seep into him as he takes step by step. And he stops just before, like on the top step, just before approaching the altar, before crossing the threshold between the circle. And he says, if you don't mind me asking, so I'm gonna get this power, but is there any like side effects or anything that'll come from this?
Such a Zill thing to say.
And the witch, she looks out and she says, "You have faith, don't you? Your God will guide you." And as she like looks to like the cloak that is on his shoulder, and she says, "You have nothing to fear."
But Zill's the one who killed them.
And just as he begins to step over and potentially cross the threshold, Jack, he looks to you and he says, "Now."
Oh yeah, Yuki sprints forward, unkeystering her sword.
Make a priority initiative roll. So you're gonna have a surprise round of combat. Only Yuki. Unfortunately, Belbin was caught too many times. So there's gonna be one surprise round of combat as this is happening, and it's gonna be from Yuki.
It's 12.
12. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting all of these things together. Okay. So with that 12, you can go ahead and do your movement and then attack if you wish to do so.
Yeah, so she's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And as she's doing this, she is playing, not playing, but she's starting up her Dance of the Wind, her wind blade dance. She's going to use secondary support action to give Zill a tempo dice. Basically, she shouts out to Zill as she's moving forward. She's like, "Now, Zill!" And is just like, "Oh!" and sings at him, and he gets a tempo dice.
Okay.
For that. And she's going to look at Rolo and say, "Stand down, Rolo," and basically shoves her sword through this guy on the right.
Okay. So you're going to move 5, 10, 15,
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Right here.
Down here?
Right here.
25.
A little bit up, yeah. There we go.
Cool. And so as you do so, you pull out your sword and you just ram it through. Go ahead and make an attack action. It is now the attack phase.
Yeah, so she's using her just normal attack. She's not using her Voidin sword or anything right now, but yeah. That's a nat 16, so that's Matt. Yeah, this is Velvin with his nat 1. Yuki's with her nat 16. So that's max damage on that Voidin Vorpal. So, oh, and he also takes. That's a crit. He also takes earth damage as well. And that would be. Let me pull that up quickly. Can't wait till they're all condensed. That's going to be. Where is it? That's the wrong guy. Where are you? There we go. That is going to be 3d4 elemental. But anyways, the max damage itself would be. Sorry, I'm bouncing between pages. 19 stabby damage. 19 damage. 19, yeah. And then 4, 3, 7, 11 plus 1. That was really good. That was almost max damage. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 earth damage.
Why is
And
it so
he
much
is-
damage? What's
Because it's 3d4. 3d4 on. It's only on a crit though. That's
That's
the only thing
crazy.
it works on. I finally was able to use it. I've been using it for God knows how long, and
Yeah.
never hit a crit with it. But that is 11 earth, and he's also knocked off his feet. And
Yeah,
prone.
as you run your sword through him, you hear as he falls down on the ground, dead. You draw your sword and you see that there's like this blackened blood that is dripping off your blade, and you have slain this first guy.
Yeah, with that first thing, because there's no one else around her to be able to attack, since it's the attack phase, she's going to use her second action to huck his body to the corner as far as she can down
All
this
right,
way.
make a physical skill check for me.
11 plus physical. 11 plus 6, so that is 17.
So you're able to chuck him 5, 10, 15 feet off to the side. As you just throw the body as you look up, and as this is happening, you see kind of like this this blinding speed, Yuki just drawing her sword and running it through, and Rolo Beaumont turns around and he's like, "Stop! What are you doing?" And immediately you hear chanting from this lady up top as she begins to start chanting in a void speech. Zil has not yet placed his foot down within it, and this guy up at the top, he says, "What are you doing? The ritual's already begun." And with that, we're going to go ahead and just roll initiative for everybody.
Let's do it.
Oh!
Another nat 16.
You're siphoning my
Ah,
energy.
yes,
That's what
yeah.
this ritual's doing.
Yeah, right? It's giving Yuki all the power. Only Thordain was here to appreciate it with his frilly shirt. Him and his +7 or 8 to initiative.
Had he been here, he'd be screwed.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
He's still wearing the...
Oh yeah. Well, he's got a short bow. He could have been like,
Yeah, but his outfit would have given him away, right? All the other people wearing his outfit are dead up near the altar.
yes. Like, oh, we missed one.
There's a lot of people that I'm doing it for.
I know there are. I see that. Well, luckily they don't got a ton of HP. That was just one attack. But granted, it was max damage.
Yeah, that was a good attack.
A little nervous. I don't.
Okay, Yuki.
This is a lot of...
Yuki got 16 plus 1, so 17.
All right, Belbin.
It's +2, but with her Cuirass on, it's -1.
21.
Oh my god.
No
That was your
Thordain.
natural security.
Jack. Got an 8.
Nice.
Rixalia.
Slow down.
12.
That's pretty good.
Zil. 11.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
And I think that's so let's go ahead and sort that sucker. We're starting with Belbin. Starting hot
Let's
right
get
off the
that.
bat.
Oh no. It's where he thrives. All right, he's gonna go to the guy on the left and, as promised, beat him up.
Just initiate combat. That's so.
3 attacks. Yeah. I guess I need to just.
You're just picturing this, and he's like
You
stuck
have any
what's happening,
support
and all of a sudden like
needs?
all this stuff is happening, and he turns around and he just sees
Do you have
like
any
this
support actions?
fist, just fists
Yeah.
going right at him.
Yeah. Well, I gotta initiate combat though. I'll tell him this is the good part. Right before I'm about to punch
Nice.
him.
Oh snap!
The zingers of Belvin.
Yuki, it is your turn.
Yeah, Yuki is going to. Oh man, she's going to use a support action to continue her dance.
Okay.
She's going to. I guess use another support action to call over to Rolo Beaumont and says, "Stand down and let us do what we must." Again,
Make
if
an
she can,
influence
trying to
skill
be.
check.
Okay. 11 plus influence. 11 plus 3, 14.
That's a success. You need 3 of them in order to convince him.
Oh
You
my
can only
gosh.
do it once per round. As he looks at you,
Okay.
he like kind of like sees like a little bit of hesitation in his face as he looks up and he says, "No, you're paying customers. This is what you wanted, wasn't it?" As he looks down, he draws his sword too.
And she's, as she's moving, because she's gonna move up this way, 5, 10, 15,
Stop there. real
20.
quick.
Right here.
Right here. Real quick. Actually, more like right here. So you move 10 feet. I'm gonna have you make a faith survival check for me.
Oh no! I'm virtuous though, so I'll take it. 13 plus faith. Oh, there it is. 13 plus 4, 17.
With that, you gain 1 point of misery.
Oh my gosh! It's fine. I got plenty to spare.
Back to Bellum for 1 second.
Okay,
Can I
you can
just-
continue.
Can I use a support action to see this guy that I'm about to punch? What is he wearing? Is he not wearing like any armor, like his little token Joes?
Yeah, it's basically just like a leather armor, very light
Okay.
armor, like leather armor.
Okay, that's what.
And Yuki, as she's moving, she basically says to him, "Sometimes you have to pay for things for the greater good of society." Trying to sound cool as she's running by, and she goes here. It
And all of a sudden,
engages.
you hear like a kind of a shrill voice off to your right, be like, "What are you doing? What? No, stop!" And you hear like a Ricket, and you see him as he draws a small dagger from his hip.
Yeah, she engages both Ricket and this guy in combat, and she looks to Ricket, and she says, "If you have any hope of escape, you're gonna assist me here and now."
With that,
Oh, that's what she'll do.
initiate combat.
Yeah.
And that moves us down to our next combatant, which is this guy up here. And so he pulls out what looks to be a staff, and he says, You're going nowhere." And he, "You're going nowhere." No, he's gonna go ahead and he is gonna cast a spell on not Belbin, on Zill. And he is going to cast a paralyze spell on him. And so Zill needs to beat a DC. Actually, I can't tell you the DC, but he needs to make a mind survival check.
I don't. Is Zill smart?
I don't think so.
Got a 5.
Oh,
and so he fails, and so he is officially paralyzed. So he cannot
Paralyzed.
do any actions until the end of the turn.
Oh,
Is it just the end of the turn, or is it
End
like
of the
a
turn.
D4?
Yeah, end of the turn.
Okay.
And with this guy up here, he is basically like holding like Zill in place and says, "The ritual will be complete." As he looks down to the rest of you, he says, "For the glory of Burble Down." And he walks 5, 10, 15. And he looks from side to side and he says, "For Burble Down, for his glory." As he raises his staff up, it begins to blaze in red. Yes.
Didn't we take his staff, or didn't Thordane and Belbin take his staff, his Damascus? Didn't they take his staff
Well,
when they were there?
Staff. It's not a rod.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
never
this
mind.
is a staff. It's not a rod, and he takes it and he holds it up, and basically like this vortex begins to swirl around him and it basically encase him at the moment. And immediately you hear screams that begin to turn into what the sound of a high-pitched bird cries, and he is no longer himself. In fact,
Oh no, sweet. He is a thing.
he turns into this giant raven creature with arms and legs, and I'm actually gonna have actually no, you probably wouldn't know what this is, so that's him, and that's gonna be his turn. Which then brings us to Rolo, he sees that this transformation happens right in front of him. He's like, huh! As he takes like a couple of steps back. He calls out, and he calls out to his companions, and he says, "Don't just stand there. Go get the others!" As he calls out, giving orders to these two individuals that are here. And with that, he calls out and he says, "Don't be stupid. Do you want to leave with your life? Let this happen." As he doesn't do anything, but he kind of just like stands with his sword at the ready, in basically a combat stance. He's gonna go 5, 10, 15, at the bottom of the stairs. And with that, we're gonna jump down to Luxalia.
Get him, Luxalia.
Let me pull up her stat sheet real quick. So Luxalia, she can do lots of things.
I'm so excited to see her and Jack just blow people up with light magic.
Well, combat has started, first of all, and so
Yeah.
she has like the ability to light everybody in the room. And I think that was like everybody within 30 feet when combat started, so basically just this group plus...
Does that include Iki?
Yeah, it includes you. Because you were here when combat started, so yeah, that would include you too. So all of you had like a light shield on you right now. And then her next thing is she's gonna go ahead and I think she's gonna try to move here. Yeah, she's gonna use a support action to disengage there and move here, and that's what she's gonna do. She's preparing, ready for whatever's happening. And next is going to be these guys. And so they are going to continue and 10, 15, 20. I gotta remember.
They can
this is
occupy.
a dead.
Can they occupy that space?
They cannot. It's a dead body. And this guy's gonna move 5, 10. 5, 10, 15. What they're gonna do, which brings us to Jack. And so Jack, seeing all of this, he looks around and he says, "This ritual must be stopped." And he steps forward, still in like this guy is like moving kind of around, and he calls out and he says, "We need to find its name." As he begins to put his staff up into the air and like a light begins to swirl around it. "Find out its name." As he light begins to swirl around.
Wait, which name? This guy, or this up here?
We don't know.
You can call out. What are you
I
talking
see.
about?
Whose name? What's his name?
The demon that's here. Find out his name.
All right, let's do it.
And with that, yeah, he's gonna end his turn. He's gonna initiate combat with this bucko, as it were, and then that's what he can do. Meaning, we're gonna jump to these guys. We're gonna come down 5, 10, 15, 20, and this guy is gonna move 5, 10 here, and he is going to use a paranoia spell on you. I'm gonna have you make a mind survival check for you, Yuki. For me, Yuki. Mind survival check.
Oh, that's not bad though. 10 plus mind. 10 plus 5, 15.
15. As you see the sorcerer make its way forward, he's got his rod in hand, and he begins to utter void speech as you begin to hear voices talking inside your head. And they're indistinguishable, but they are stoking senses of fear within you. However, you're able to push through, and it does not affect you.
I don't like that.
And he says, "Fine." He's gonna step back too, and he's going to prepare something else.
Scariness. All right, Ricket, help me.
With that, we are going to jump to these guys. They're gonna be like, "Oh, yes, sir," as they're gonna disappear through their respective doors. And at the moment, these doors are open. And with that, we're gonna jump down to this lady. And she continues enchanting, almost her eyes again glowing blue, fixated on Zill. And as she's doing this, the slimes begin and their tendrils begin to reach out. And as they do so, it's almost as if they're touching something painful as they reach back down into the bowl, as if trying to hide from whatever power this is. And around the side here, there is basically a blackened circle that has begun to form. Slowly around the tops of the bodies, and it's going to continue to rise turn by turn. And she looks to you, and she looks out forward, and she says, "Give me time." And as she speaks, it's not the ladylike voice that she originally had, but it's a dark, "Give me time." As basically she begins to cast what is she begins to cast a large water barrier as it begins to just rise up from the ground, and it's about 30 feet tall, that rises pretty much directly to the ceiling, barring off anything from here, and it cuts your vision from what is happening behind for all the people down here.
Nice.
And that lasts for until the end. And that's her turn. Next is going to be Thordane's not in this. That is the bottom of the combat, meaning we are going into the attack phase.
Hit him.
Get him.
Hit him.
Belbin.
Get him.
Hit him. Does a 14 hit?
14 will hit.
Nice.
First
As you
attack
begin to
will be-
rough up this guy.
Yeah. First one will be doing 10 damage.
Okay.
We're good.
Hit him again. Does a 13 hit?
A 13 does hit.
Alrighty. It's another 10 damage.
Whew.
Third attack, big money. 7.
7 does not hit, unfortunately.
Figured. Alright. That's all he's got.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah.
20 damage.
I was hoping to kill him.
Yeah, you
It's-
begin.
maybe it's for the
first
best.
Hit, the first hit you have, you just boom, straight him right in the face, and he begins to like cough up and like losing a couple of teeth. He looks at you just like, and he takes his sword ready to slash down at you. You punch him right in the jejunum, and he's just as he gets down to like one knee. And you can hear like audible cracks. He looks like he is like on death's doors. He's just like looking up at you, ready to combat. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Yuki.
Yeah, Yuki's gonna turn to Ricket, and she's gonna say before she like attempts to stab this evil thing.
Before she he attempts to stab Ricket.
No, she's not gonna stab Ricket. But she's gonna turn to Ricket, and she's gonna say to him, "Your whole life, You have been stepped on and being taken orders from these evil, foul things. This is your time to be free. Join me and help us rid... What is this place called? Folden Rock of this evil. And she turns to the evil guy and attempts to shiv him with her.
Make
Void
a
of
make
Vorpal
a
sword.
influence skill check for me.
I mean, she's pretty influential. It's a 12.
12. You see that there's like a little bit of like understanding and like fear in his eyes as like tears begin to well up. He grips his blade tight as he says, and he almost as if he wants to say like something, but it like doesn't escape his mouth, his lips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
And
ahead.
she
do
says,
attacks.
she says, "I'm not your enemy, Rickett." And she like looks at this cultist in the face, and she's like, "Who do you serve?" As she stabs him.
You you shank him very much,
Yeah.
potentially.
For 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. He feels that. He's like, oof.
So that's 6 plus. Where's my character sheet? 6 plus. I think it's 9. Yeah, 6 plus 9 cutting. So what is that? 15. 15 cutting.
Right.
And she's going to look over to Rickett again, and she's just gonna like look at him in his face, like how urgent this is, and with her Damascus sword, she's gonna shove the second one into him and say the same thing. Who do you serve? As she shoves it into him. That's 18 to hit.
18 is going to hit.
It's 9 plus 8. So what's that? 16 cutting damage.
Okay.
And does he answer at all as she's being shoving swords into him?
I mean, yeah, he does, but you see, we'll let you finish your attack round.
Oh. Well, she's... if she kills him... Oh.
Kill him.
Oh.
Kill him.
And I guess Yuki's gonna kind of look at her, or is it him, her, in the face?
He's got a mask. I mean, he's got a pretty broad type.
With
but you could've
with
seen something.
intensity in Yuki's eyes, and she's just like, "By the name of Alamnia, you will answer me." As she shivs him with her.
As you say
the
that,
broadsword.
as you say that word, I'm gonna have you make a mind survival check for me.
14.
14. You take
Yeah.
3 points of darkness damage.
Ooh! wait. From which word? Alamnia?
As you say his name, you feel this pain inside your soul, almost as if the longer you spend within the reaches of these within the aura of these flames, the more you're being drawn away from the light.
I like that. That's 4, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, she doesn't like that, and just kind of hatred in her eyes. She shivs him with the other sword, I guess. Or 18 to hit, which
18
will
will
hit.
hit.
9 plus 9, 18 cutting damage.
You one more time. You shove another sword in him, and he looks to you as he slumps it down on the blade heavily, and he goes, "Purple down," and he falls over dead.
Well, that wasn't useful. With her dual wield action, can she attempt to throw him off this altar like she did with that guy?
That's not
Darn
how
it.
works. No.
Darn it. She has another support action though.
Yeah,
Technically.
can't use in this. Can't use in the attack phase.
Reflex support action.
No.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do. I guess just with her other attack action, she looks over to Rickett, and she just says to him, If you don't have the courage, just stand behind me and watch my back. And we'll just say that to him.
Right.
She's intentionally and making it very clear that she is not stabbing him.
Okay.
That she could if she wanted to,
Okay.
but she is sparing him.
She is
Okay.
sparing him his life. All right, sounds good. Which the next one is him, but let's see if he can do anything.
He's scary looking.
He can do something. He's gonna go ahead and as his wings begin to spread out, whoosh, and similar to what Zil can do, 3 feathers just launch forward in succession, and they're all going to be targeting Yuki. I'm going to have you make
You're gonna be taking some damage.
Oh no, it's not a survival check. It's an attack.
Yeah. I just get hit. Just get wrecked.
So it's 3 separate attacks. The first one is a 21 hit.
Oh, that very much hits.
Second one does a 20 hit.
It does it. Yep.
And then a third one does a 16 hit.
It just hits. She is a 16 armor class.
All right,
So,
so you are going
nice.
to receive
A lot of damage. She's good. She's got potions and stuff if she needs them. She came prepared. She didn't go into the fray thinking she wasn't going to take any damage.
I'm going to take...
It takes this long to calculate.
I know, I don't like
damage.
that.
It's,
Well, it's 3 separate attacks, so
Okay.
I'm doing all 3 attacks. It's going to be 28 points of dark damage. As these feathers go and they go, they begin attacking you in rapid succession, cutting, basically swirling around your body and like giving you cuts. Also, if the attack lands, the target's speed is halved until the end of the next combat round, and your next priority initiative roll is reduced by -4.
Oh, oh my gosh. Okay. Well, he landed all of them. So.
Yeah, that's not a stack. That's not stacked. It's
Okay,
like just
good.
like
I
a
was gonna say,
total of
minus
just
4,
half of
minus
the -4. Yeah.
12? Just like.
It's like
Okay,
you don't get to do anything next combat. You got a -2. All right.
Broken.
With that, that's gonna be his turn and all he can do, which will bring us to Rolo. He doesn't have anyone that he can hit. Luxalia, she's like, I don't freaking like this. As she looks around, seeing that like her
Oh wait,
vision is
the
cut.
guy got she had the shield of light on her. So at
Base
least the
survival
first
check?
attack.
Base
Just the
survival
first
check?
attack, yeah. Yeah.
He got a maybe not pass 8, which is Luxalia's. It's based off of Luxalia's. I think it's like a 12. Yeah, he does not pass.
And just let me know how much damage from that first attack.
Yeah, the first
Remember.
attack was a 11. First attack was the big pop.
Hey, look at that.
There you go. But he does take some damage. So he receives. Oh, jeez. Going back and forth. Thought I was prepared, but I wasn't as prepared as I thought.
There's a lot of dudes. There's a lot of dudes in Luxalia.
He receives 10 points of light damage.
Ooh. How do you feel
As
about
it just,
that?
This basically the first attack hits basically hits and breaks off of your shield, and the shield cracks, and then you can see that like the light that disperses goes and attacks the raven. You can hear it goes, it just gets whacked by it, and then the other two land true. Okay, good to know. Thanks for remembering. These are the things that you guys need to keep in mind while we're doing it. But Luxalia, she says, well, great, I can't see anything now. And so she's gonna go ahead and use her, I think just her Silverwood staff. I don't know if I want to blow through all of her stuff.
It seems pretty desperate. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're gonna just do a staff attack, I think. Which, although I don't think our hit's very good with that. Okay, she's pillaring of light. She's gonna do it in this radius to hit both of these guys, both of these baddies. And so they need to make faith survival checks. First guy fails it. The second guy does pass, and it's gonna be a total of, for how much damage? Pillar of light. It's a level 3 art. Dang, this is a freaking good skill.
That's why she uses it a
Oh,
lot.
jeez.
10,000 damage. She blows up the room.
Oh, boy.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead.
4d6 light damage.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Plus elemental. What's her elemental? This is why I'm going to make some changes. I'm not going back and forth. I see what you guys have to deal with.
Yeah.
18 points of light damage, which absolutely obliterates this guy. And this guy survives.
No. How's he looking, though?
He's looking pretty hurt.
He didn't like that very much.
Did not
See, this is why we brought Luxalia, Belbin, instead of making her go Thordain and theatrical.
Who knows what Thordain's going through
No
right
one
now?
knows.
So that's what Luxalia can do. None of these cultists are in range for attacks, so they can't do anything. The Jack, he continues to make continues to chant, and in Luxalia's ears, she recognizes this as the Alamic tongue. As he begins to just like speak, it's almost kind of in this sing-songy language, different from Elvish, almost like uncomprehendable to like the human ears. He begins to. He's not going to make an attack action as this light continues to swirl around himself and the area. It grows more and more potent, which brings us to these guys. So the sorcerer, he's going to go ahead and do a black dart against you.
Man, Yuki's been black darted so much these last couple sessions.
You're immune to the
And
black
that's a
dot.
nat
Oh, I get-
16, which
Yeah, I
doesn't
get
matter because
Oh.
it's
It's just a
it's an
flat.
attack action, but it's always just flat damage, so it's just 14 damage. 14 dark damage.
Oh my gosh.
Just don't get
Um,
paralyzed. If you get paralyzed, you're screwed.
That's true, yeah.
And that's all he can do. This guy technically doesn't have sight on anybody because there's a giant raven blocking his field of view. So he's just gonna chill. These guys can't do anything, but these two are gonna attack. This guy's gonna go ahead and make an attack action against Jack. He does hit with his sword attack.
That's freaking rough that
Jack has a
Zill
shield.
got paralyzed.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and Jack is going to take 7 points of.
Doesn't he have a shield? He has a shield,
He
doesn't
does have a shield. Ho
How'd
That
you remember that?
that explodes.
he? Belvin has
Um,
a shield, and
the
I
guy
gotta remember that.
The guy fails it, and so he receives no damage, and he receives 5 points of light damage instead.
Whoa.
So yeah, that happens. That's all he can do. This guy's gonna go ahead and make his attack again. So he's gonna do the shield. So he failed his face survival check. So it just bursts the shield and does.
Well, does it hit me first?
oh yeah, I gotta roll to hit.
Does he have to see if it hits me?
Well, he misses.
I
Wait,
wanna,
what's your
I wanna-
what's your DB?
12.
12 it misses. It's an 8.
Can I do a counter?
If you want to. Is that,
Do
what
I-
is that reflex support action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Big money. Ooh, good one. 18
18 will hit.
and 9 damage.
And as he goes in to strike you with your sword, you dodge and just swoop him, just like right in the face, just a jab right in the face, and with that, his eyes glaze over as he falls back, perished.
Poor guy. That's the good part. He just whispers.
And with that, I believe we jump down to this lady.
But what about freaking this guy?
What's he
Oh,
gonna
Rickett.
do?
I didn't roll for Rickett.
Rickett.
Rickett's not doing anything this turn. So
Yeah. Yuki's speaking some sense.
He rolled a
into him.
natural one.
Yeah.
I didn't roll for Rickett last turn. Sweet. All right, and with that, we're going to go ahead and I believe that's everybody in the combat round.
Wait,
so,
what did the sorceress girl do?
Yeah.
Nothing?
You didn't do anything.
she's not attacking. She's
Can't
not
do
doing
anything?
any attacks or anything.
Okay.
And so that's what's happening there. We're going to go do positioning rolls. So technically, it's just Rickett and Yuki. So Ricky's going to go ahead and make his positioning. It's a physical skill check. So
Yeah, if Yuki wins it, she's just gonna not let him go. She's gonna make him stick by her.
you got a 10
Physical.
physical.
15.
15.
She's just like, she moves him into this space, basically. Right here. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. Just this one right here. She kind of like, she can see he's kind of like struggling to get away, and she's just like, get behind me.
Get behind me,
right
Rickett. Cool. And then the other positioning rule, that's the only other one is this one here. And so Jack is going to go ahead and make a physical skill check. He got a 15 against this guy's 17. And so
Ooh.
Jack is pushed back. We're going to push him back.
Sneaky boy.
Well, he's a thug.
He is a thug. That was a pretty
Can't
good roll
watch the thugs.
from Jack too. Anyways, and so with that, we're gonna go ahead and jump to the next combat round. So go ahead and roll priority initiatives. Azil is no longer paralyzed, and this wall is no longer here. So you can see as the water recedes, you can see everything forward. So go ahead and make some rolls. I might do it. I might change this to help with the Fate Weaver that whatever the first roll is, they always keep that where like the players can like move in the prior initiative. I might do that. I like that. But that also includes Luxalia. No, I won't include Luxalia. Luxalia and Jack will roll separately. It's a 12 for Luxalia, which that was the same as last time.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, it'll just be whatever we rolled last turn, we just keep that same order?
The
Correct?
bad guys.
For the bad guys, for
Okay.
the enemies.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
And that's going to be a 15 for Jack. All right, which brings us to Belvin. What was your roll?
Oh, it was good. 23.
Yuki.
Would have been good, but that freaking stupid spell thing. 12.
Right. And then
Would've been real good.
Talia, Jack, and Zil. I gotta roll for him too. 13. Not too shabby. All right, cool. Belvin, your turn.
Can this space with a dead body be occupied, or do I have to go around him?
You'd have to go around.
Okay.
You can like move through it, but you can't occupy it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. And is there like a sneak? Can I do some sneak?
If you cut line of sight, you can attempt to hide. So you could like hide behind somebody or something like that. But essentially what that was is everybody has like an awareness score, which is based off of like their, I believe it's their wisdom plus their focus. And if your sneak is higher than that, then they can't see you.
Okay. My movement, I'm gonna go one. I've got 60 feet, so I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
All right.
Helmet's making a run
And
for it.
as sneaky as I can.
All right.
That's what I'll do.
Cool. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and move to the Grim Raven. He is gonna go ahead and begin to take flight. So now he is a flying raven. He's gonna
Quick question.
Yes.
I know that Yuki can't attack when she's flying. She has to land in order to attack.
Same
Is that the same with these
Unless
guys?
it's a ranged attack. Ranged attacks can be made while flying.
All right.
As long as like your arms aren't the like cause of
The
it.
main call.
Yeah, because you have to be
He's
within
not
you have to be within 5 feet of in order to do like the melee attack anyway. So you have to just be there. So he's gonna go ahead and I need to double check to see if the cool things that he can do. He's gonna go ahead and take flight and do.
Man, see, the thing is, we get hit so hard these days because we're kind of caught up to the level that we're supposed to be. Man, I can't even imagine not having the HP that Yuki has, because that was like almost half her HP in that one combat round.
Zill needs to be able to tank some.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That was so freaking sucky. That
All right.
I think those almost got double, more than double.
Move
Oh
to
yeah.
here first, and he's gonna go ahead and loose a maddening call. So he's gonna consume some mana to do that. So
Hey,
the
we
Grim
were
Raven
just a
can
random
emit-
question.
Yes.
What are these things? Are they pillars?
They're
Or are
pillars,
they
yeah, they're
just like,
statues.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
He's gonna go ahead and do his maddening caw, and so basically he emits a piercing caw that resonates with fear in the hearts of all creatures nearby, within 30 feet. I'm gonna have you all make a mind survival checks. So that includes
Does that include
Jack, that
Yuki?
includes Yuki, that includes Zill, and that includes Xelia. Man, I have a lot of checks to do. Okay. Mind survival check.
13 for you.
Do everybody one at a time.
You ran out of the.
I know.
You're
that
like,
was,
I'm getting
that
out
was
of here.
lucky.
That's a 13 for Xelia. For Jack, that is a 22.
Yeah, he's freaking. He's the Belbin status of the mind.
And for Zill, 19 for Zill.
Nice.
Both Yuki and Luxalia, you have gained the fear for status ailment.
She cannot be feared.
You cannot be feared. You cannot be
I don't
frightened.
think so. I don't think so.
For 4 combat rounds.
There's something right like that. Oh, you know what? I think I might be thinking about Valen.
Valineth, yeah, Valineth definitely
Hold on a
can't be
second. Hold on
feared.
a second. Let's see. Give me a second. I need to double check that.
was like, I don't
Continue.
remember.
Continue. I'll let you know.
But
I'll
fear.
let you
So
know.
essentially, what that status ailment does is if you start your turn in the movement phase within 30 feet of the source of your fear, you have to make a mind survival check with a DC of 12. If you do not pass, basically you end your turn immediately. So
Oh my gosh.
you cannot move,
Holy
essentially.
cow.
And so
That's
you're basically just
rough.
like stunned in fear. If you do pass it, you can make your turn as normal, essentially. So
How did Rickett fare? Is he fearful?
this isn't towards Rickett, so he's
Oh, but
technically an enemy at this point.
What?
Yeah.
Rickett, come on now.
And so he's gonna do his call of fear, and then he is going to move 5, 10, 15. He's gonna go ahead. 5, 50. Drop down here, and
Coming for
I
you.
think he wants to.
Get wrecked, Belbin.
No, you'll be fine. You
The
just gonna
last
punch a
day.
bird.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun,
gotta-
dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, he's
behead it.
gonna just initiate a combat challenge.
Just gotta behead it and then put it on a wall.
Yeah, you can use it as a mask. So Zill has
That'd be a
got behead it,
sweet, yeah.
use it as a mask, and then Zill has his key. You eventually gotta get the feet. You gotta get. You're gonna just have a bird costume. Anyway, so that's gonna happen. So that's his turn. So he's initiating combat there. And then that's gonna bring us to Jack, who Jack is gonna move 10, so 5, 10. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30.
Ooh, Jack.
5, 5, 10, 15, 20,
I'm not.
30, and then 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, so you're basically, Belbin, you're not the only one in range. What he was preparing in the
I'm a 9.
previous turn was a art called the Might of a Lawman. Essentially, from this turn for D4 combat rounds, so let me go ahead and do that, roll that, for basically until the bottom of this combat round. All of everybody in range cannot be affected by status ailments.
Well, thanks.
Yep. It doesn't remove the status
know.
ailment that you have on it, but you just don't get affected by the status ailment as long as you're within 30 feet of him. And so, if you stay within that range, then you're good. Which brings us down to, so that was Jack.
How many turns is that lasting for?
Just to the bottom of this turn.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, I rolled a 1, unfortunately.
What a
Yeah.
waste.
The next is
Stop being
Rolo.
useless, Jack.
And as Rolo, he sees that like Jack makes his way around. Rolo looks at him and is like, "You're unfamiliar to me. How dare you come into my home and make a mess of things?" And Jack, he looks at him and directly in his eyes and says, "I would leave if I were you." And he turns his back actually to Rolo as he faces directly towards this altar. And he is going to begin to enchant his staff as well as it begins to glow in a light. And as he does so, he's going to go ahead and target this area with these 3 individuals. I think that's it.
Go, baby.
Oh my gosh.
And he is going to go ahead and cast Blinding Ray in that area.
Nice.
And with that, they have to make agility survival checks for that one. So we'll start bottom to top. First guy passes, second guy fails, third guy fails. So this guy passed. But these 2 are blinded for 3 combat rounds.
Whoa.
And that's what he's going to do for that. And then for his last support action, he's going to go ahead and target Zil. And he's going to go ahead and go with Fortify Mind. And so he gets +2 on all mind survival checks for the next 2 combat rounds. Yeah, so that's all Jack's gonna do. And with that, we are jumping down to Zil.
Get himself.
Zil. Zil has to make a wisdom survival check. So that's why I did that. He is gonna go ahead and do that for a natural 16 with that fortified mind. He sees that he is just about to step down into the circle, and he immediately regains his senses and moves back 5 feet. And immediately the black circle begins to recede downwards, and she stops chanting altogether, and she looks down and she says, "What are you doing?" And then immediately followed by, "Get back here!" As like this deep voice basically beckons out to her. Zil, no longer under that influence, is he's looking around and he's like, "What the frick is going on?" He has to make a faith survival check because of the zone that he's in, and he got a 6, meaning he gets another point of misery.
Nice. Solid.
And yeah, he's gonna go ahead and start engaging. He looks to you, Yuki, and says, Okay, where do you want me to go? As he looks around to see that there's some blinded people here. There's a dude right here.
Yuki says to Zill as he's kind of looking around panicked, says, Jack says we have to find the demon's name. I don't know what demon he's talking about, but we need to find the name. I'm assuming it's not Burbledow.
And Zill, he looks and he's like, okay. And he turns around and he faces this lady, and he begins to speak in an unknown language, and it's painful to hear. And he begins to speak in a void speech directly to this witch, and he says, "What is your name?" And the witch, she laughs, and as she laughs, you kind of hear like a, but also like a, like kind of like layered on top of each other. And he's gonna go ahead and use a support action in order to make a influence skill check. He's pretty influential, I think.
He's actually better than Yuki, technically.
Plus 6. Oh my gosh.
Oh!
That's an 18. Yeah, it's an 18. As he's like, "What is your name?" And she goes, and in her voice, she says, "Favelia." And then you just hear it. And then it eventually recedes back into a deep chuckle. And then Zill, he's like, "It's Favelia." As he takes his axe, he's gonna go ahead and knowing basically. So did we have the Luxalia circle somewhere here? The yellow circle.
It's right down here.
Can you grab that for me?
The yellow one. This is
yellow
the
one.
purple one.
No, I want the. Is it if someone could zoom out to see if it's like somewhere?
Yeah, I got
on
it.
this?
Right here.
No, not this one. Not this one. The Luxalia circle. It's like the 5-foot yellow circle. Is it
Somewhere.
anywhere on the screen that we're like not seeing?
I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Basically, I'll put this here. Anything within a 5-foot radius of like this area, so like centered on the altar, 5-foot radius. If he moves within this, the ritual picks back up and begins again.
Okay.
So he is going to take his axe. He's like, "I didn't like how it felt up there," and he's going to go ahead and move 5 feet with his axe and do that. I'm probably not playing him completely exactly how he wants me to, but he's going to initiate a combat challenge with this one guy. And with that, we're going to move down to our next combat. So that's going to be his to Yuki.
So I have to roll
Face survival check for
because
me.
the bird. Okay.
First and foremost, that's the
Good.
biggest thing.
Faith survival check. So that's a 13 plus 4, 19.
Okay, you're good.
Wait, is that right? Was that 18? 17.
17.
17.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. All right. And does she have to make the call?
No,
that a
because
mind
you're
survival
unaffected
check?
by status ailments this turn because of Jack.
Jack coming in clutch, even though I already got fearful.
Yeah, so like you just for this turn you don't suffer the effects of status ailments.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, so Yuki's gonna turn to Ricket and says, "If you want to make up for all the hurt you've done to this island," and she points to this guy, "have my back." And she's gonna move 5, 10, 15. Oh, she can only move 15 because she's speed's halved, right? Oh no, that's the effects. So she can move the full 30, right? 15, 20.
Technically the halved movement's not a status ailment.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah, so you can move 15.
5, 10. She's gonna move here. So with the support action, she's gonna continue her dance. The second support action, she's gonna call out to Rolo, and she says, "Can't you see that these aren't human, that these are evil? Can't you see that money won't make you win this? Can't you see that if you don't have your life itself, then what are you gonna use money for?" And she's gonna initiate a combat challenge with this guy.
Make a influence skill check for me.
Shouldn't she try to convince Rolo to be on her side?
Yeah.
Oh, did that?
She's trying to make him think because he's all money driven
Yeah.
in his mind. She's like, well, if you're not alive, how are you
Did
gonna
I need
have?
an action for that, or did I miss that?
Oh no, I use a support action
Oh,
for that. All my movement. Okay, not terrible. Was this influence or is this charm? She's not being very
Yeah, this is
charming.
influence. This is influence.
That's fine. That's a 13.
13. He looks to you and he says, "That remains to be seen what the winning side it will be." As he holds out his, takes out his sword. He still hasn't landed any weapon attacks against anybody, but he is, doing that thing.
Winning. Oh, and she's gonna use her last support action because she gets another one while she's dancing. To reach into her adventurer's pouch and drink an improved healing potion.
All
A
right.
sip of that. So that's 40. And we're back, baby. We are back.
And we're back, baby. And with that, we are going to go ahead and jump down to Luxalia. And Luxalia is just like, "Oh, guys, you just left me kind of alone here." And she's going to go ahead and move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 25-ish. So I think she's in range of pretty much everyone here. And she's going to be like, "Just let me know if anyone needs healing, okay?" And she's gonna just chill.
He
And with
throws
that,
up a thumb.
and with that, we are gonna go ahead. Oh, and hold on. What is her?
It's 60.
Mana mending. I don't want to get that. Wild mana surge. Ooh, she's got shimmer. What's
Although
the
it's not
range
dark
on
in here, is it?
it? Yeah, she probably doesn't want to do that.
You've been hanging out with
Revitalizing touch.
Too much distance.
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah, she's not gonna do anything. She's gonna just chill here. Everyone looks pretty healthy, so she's gonna just chill. Which brings us to these guys, and so this guy's gonna go ahead and engage here. This guy is gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, engage here. And this guy is gonna go 5, 10, 15, 25, and engage Jack here. That's not the correct turn. Sorry. This guy is not blinded, so he is going to go ahead and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Engage here for flanking.
It's all good. I healed. I drank a potion. I was like this.
My strategy. Okay, that's cool. We're gonna do that, and then they're gonna
Cultists
just
don't have
initiate
strategy.
They just run
You don't know.
wildly,
Yeah.
flailing around. This guy is gonna go ahead and go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That stupid Jack thing is making me so I can't do much.
Jack. Yeah.
What can he do?
You can talk with Ricket.
He's not going to do that.
Oh, he doesn't like Ricket? I thought they were on the same team.
He's gonna make
Yeah,
his
right,
way
seriously.
over here, and he can't really do much to anybody, so he's gonna just chill there. Which brings us to these guys. Finally, this guy's gonna make his way over here, and on this turn, through the doors, comes this guy who's gonna initiate combat challenge along with.
Oh no.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's
Oh,
conform
no.
their boss.
He
Friends.
is coming back, and they close the doors behind them.
It's fine. It's fine. That's more experience for Belbin, right? We calculate that still.
And we calculate that still. Okay, that's cool. And then so we're gonna do that, and then that's gonna be they can't really move further than that. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump down to this lady, and she can do some stuff. She can do some really cool stuff.
No.
Really
can't.
nice stuff. She's gonna do a couple of things, and so she is gonna go ahead and expend some mana to use her watery grasp. It's gonna be a mind survival check equal to.
For who?
Oh, she's using Godzilla.
Water grasp. That doesn't sound good. Bring him closer.
A 20 to beat. Because it's essentially a roll, and so she like rolls plus her elemental score to add like for the DC of it. So it could be
pretty
really
good.
weak. And Zill got a
There's no way.
7.
Yeah.
He gets watery grasped, which essentially what that means is he
Should have run Zill.
Yeah, right.
is going to be paralyzed until the end of the
Of
combat.
course.
Oh.
Doesn't do anything because he was already affected by the status ailment.
Oh yeah. Sweet. So
But
she sucks.
it's for potentially 2 combat rounds, so we'll see if it continues into the next combat round. So I'm gonna roll a d6
job, Jen.
on an odd number. It's 1. On an even number, it's 2. Or yeah, and it's a 1, so it doesn't take effect. She's gonna use her second.
Check for the win.
She's gonna use her second action in order to put up a.
Just. Oh.
Oh. So does that mean Zill can't escape?
You could jump.
Well, technically, he could jump down
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
What
about
is that
like a
ledge?
5 feet 5-foot ledge.
Okay.
Nothing super big. So she's gonna put up a barrier there, and the last thing she is going to do is immediately use a ability called Darkness Shift. 5, 10, 15, where she teleports here. And then she's going to move 5, 10 feet here.
Poor Ricket.
And with that, she is going to be done.
Oh, nice.
Sweet. And that brings us to the.
So she's still doing the ritual while she's
No.
teleporting?
So the ritual stopped when Zill left the 5-foot radius.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
he has to get. She has to get him back within 5 feet, in order
Gotcha.
to continue the ritual.
And she also needs to be there too?
Yeah, she also has to be there.
Okay.
Doing that thing. Okay, cool. So that's what she's gonna do, and then that's gonna bring us down to the end of the combat round, meaning we're going into the attack phase. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with Belbin. Belbin, you got
Get
2
it, Belbin.
potential people.
All right.
to-
Yeah, no. There's only one person to attack, and
Yeah.
that's
Big boy.
the Raven. So first one will be a natural 1.
Oh,
that ain't gonna do it.
That'll be a miss.
it's just a bird though.
That one got cocked. Second one, 12. Does 12 hit?
12 does not hit.
I believe in you. Get him, Belbin.
About 14.
14 will hit.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Just one shot for 9 damage. That is all.
So Belvin, the first strike goes, and he's still kind of like his wings spread. He has landed, but your first punch, basically throws a gust of wind and it throws your hand backwards. You go in for the second punch, and he basically just dodges out of the way. And then the third punch, you're able to strike him right in the chest. And this is a large creature. It's like a giant bird. And you hear a small kind of like crack, but you're going right against what feels like just like sheer muscle underneath what is this feathered exterior. All right, and with that, that is that. The Grim Raven is going to go ahead and start making its attacks now. And so he's going to go ahead and use his beak attack.
Nice. On Belbin's
For
naked
a
body.
16 to hit.
I've got my shield. That'll hit, but I've got my shield still intact.
That's true.
All right. Well,
Light
he's gonna
damage,
go ahead and make a fate survival tech. That's right. Man, he's just taking all of this. It's gonna be a 14. So it breaks the shield, but it doesn't do any damage. But he doesn't receive any damage. And so, second attack is gonna go for another beak attack, and that is gonna be for an 18 hit.
That'll hit.
And it's going to be for a total of... Oh, and because it hit, he's going to use a reflex support action to use his shadowed dive. And so he increases the damage from his beak attack by 3d6.
3d6?
This is a big beastie. Let me calculate.
You're gonna put him on our wall. Don't worry.
Roll 3 1s.
See, that's the crow's biggest flaw here is that it turned its back to Luxalia.
That's 25 points of cutting damage. And additionally, I'm going to have you make a strength survival check for me.
Okay. Strength survival check. Okay. Came through when I needed it. 17.
17. Not quite what you needed. It's based off of his hit results. He goes down and he grabs you in his beak, and you are currently bound and being chomped at the moment.
Oh,
So you can use a support action to make a strength survival check against his basically physical skill check in order to be released.
next turn.
Next
Is what
turn.
you're saying?
Yep, next
Yeah.
turn.
At least you got your attacks in.
That's true, but it
One
also
attack.
took him away from getting attacked by this guy. So
Melvin, you got hope. Thank you, Noom.
Oh,
you are being chomped by a raven, about to be
Ooh.
consumed. And
Thanks,
with
man. I needed that.
that is going to jump down to Jack. So it is Jack's turn at the moment, and as he looks around, he says, "No, we need to find its name." As he points, basically, directly at something above the witch. That's off on the side.
Is it invisible? Is he seeing things that we aren't?
He is going to use a pillar of light, and it's going to be centered on.
Nice. Freaking Jack.
Yep, he's going to use Pillar of Light. And so with that Pillar of Light, I believe that is a faith survival check for everybody. So this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy.
Do I get healed from it? I don't need
And you
the
get
healing.
healed. You do get healed.
I don't think I have any damage taken from me. I'm unscathed. I used a potion.
For 14 points of damage, this guy,
Woo!
all of them actually failed their survival checks.
Ooh.
Dang.
Which means
He just exploded them all.
this guy is dead.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez. Okay. Well,
Jack. So we brought him.
so I
Yeah, what
think
is he
it's
doing casting these useless things?
Yeah.
one
Yuki's
abroad.
not gonna get attack actions. God bless.
And then I believe you are no longer trapped at that point. Then this guy. Is he?
Yeah, he didn't take any damage though from Yuki or anything, so.
And that is going to be a success, so he gets half damage.
But it's probably full damage, let's face it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sweet. And with that being the case, that's going to be Jack's turn. You or Luxalia, she is going to use a pillar of light on Grim Raven. So go ahead and mark that off for her.
And does Belba get healed too?
Yeah.
He does get healed.
That's good.
Where's
Celia
Pillar of
saved my butt this
Light?
whole island.
He's going to make
Don't
a
tell Cole
fate
that.
survival check, to which he gets a natural 16 when he passes, so he does half
Whoa!
damage. Yeah,
What's this bird?
freaking this bird. That's going to be 15 points of healing, plus halves to that. So let's see what it is
But probably more.
that. And with that, that's going to be Luxalia's turn.
He stabs something.
Oh, did I? I already passed. I shouldn't have done Luxalia's turn. It's fine.
Zill.
It's fine. Zill is going to do his attack. And so, yeah, he's just going to swing. He's going to swing to hit.
Is he not bound by the water?
Not this turn.
Oh,
Not this turn because of the Jack ability.
oh
Because
yeah.
Jack's
yeah,
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not bound, and so he does not hit with his axe, so he's going to make another attack. He does hit this time for a total of 14 points of cutting damage.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Sweet. And with that, that's what he's going to do. Yuki, your turn.
Yeah, I guess she's gonna stab this guy to kind of give her. Well, she's gonna look back to Ricket and say, "He didn't move this turn either. He's just standing there.
He is just
This,
standing
this,
there.
this guy." And she says, she kind of looks and doesn't really like say much to him, but she kind of has like a worried look in her face, and she like looks back at these guys, kind of trying to give him that like not a puppy dog look, but just like it's a dire situation, if that makes sense. Like get on it. Stop just standing there because you got crazy behind you. And yeah, Yuki's gonna use an attack action to attack this guy.
Okay.
Avoid a broadsword. 25 to hit.
25 will hit. Which guy are you attacking? This guy here?
Yeah, that front guy.
Okay.
8 plus 9, 17 cutting.
And you slay him where he stands.
And again, she looks back over her shoulder to Ricket and faces this guy and uses a her Damascus sword to attack. Actually, you know what? She's going to use her Void and Vorpal Broadsword again to attack.
Okay.
Take it out of the pants. Whip it
It's
out.
been out of the pants. She whipped it out long. Okay, that's a 14 to hit.
14 will hit.
By the way, that's a 4. I
Damage?
rolled a 4 and it's a
Got a
14.
14.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
plus 10.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
isn't it sick? Yeah, I know. Ooh, that's 10. So that is 19 cutting damage to this guy.
And he is slain.
And Yuki looks back this way, kind of towards Ricket, and with her last action, she's gonna look at the lady and try to see what Jack is talking about, talking at it, pointing up at it. Does she see anything?
Make an elemental skill check for me.
That's a 7.
Don't see anything.
She's not element. She's not very good at this. She's gonna call towards the lady and says, "You said your name, but what's its name?" Not really knowing what she's talking about towards the lady.
I'll let you use a support action next turn to do that.
Oh, I can't use my action, my last action for that.
It's not really an attack.
All right, it's a verbal attack. With the
Hey,
power
verbal
of a
lashing.
lashing. Tell you, yeah. Okay, cool. That's all she does.
All right,
That-
Rolo is going to make a check for me. And he looks to, with his sword raised, he looks to Jack and he says, "Who are you? What are you?" And Jack turns around and he gives them just kind of like a smile and he says, "Peace, my friend." And with that, he doesn't actually make attack actions this turn.
He's so cool. I think we could all aspire to be like Jack. He's just, his words are so cool that the enemies are just like, oh, this guy. I ain't gonna attack him.
All right, cultists.
You know,
None of
Belton's
them are in
getting
range
bumped by
to
a
be. Oh no,
bird.
this guy can do a. This guy could do a whacking to.
Peace, my friend.
Kind of hippie attack. He does hit Jack with his club. So that's going to be a total of 7 points of impact damage.
Peace, my friend. Gong!
Get whacked in the back of the head.
All right, cool. And that's the only one of those cultist guys. Sorcerers, they're going to start doing their thing. This guy's going to throw another black dart at you. Actually, we're going to get 2 black darts thrown at Yuki.
This guy's blind. He can't do
He's
nothing.
blind, and he got a natural
He can't
one.
do.
So
He can't do nothing.
He's hitting
this guy is
something else
going to
with
make
that
his
dart.
attack. 16 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
14.
What the heck? It's the black darts, I'll tell ya.
14 points of darkness. So that's all they're gonna do, and then you go down to these guys, and they're not in combat except for this guy. He's gonna make his attack at Jack, and he misses just altogether as he sees a Rolo not making the attack. He just like looks confused, and he just doesn't make his attack. And then finally we have this lady, and she begins making an incantation. However, this is a different language. This is a language you're familiar with. This is the language of the Fetch Veils, as immediately
Water monster. Oh, nope. Not water monster.
a whirlpool begins to take shape right at the front of the altar. And with that being the case, this is a attack action called Commanding Tides. So it affects everybody within this, and it lasts for D4 combat rounds. So let me go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
For 4 combat rounds, it's going to be
Oh! Oh!
pretty rough for D4 combat rounds. And essentially, while this is there, all creatures who enter or start their turn in both the attack round and the support round receive D8 points of impact damage, and moving through the area causes half speed movement.
Okay, alright. That's horrible.
So, with that, and so it's automatic damage that you receive. So it's D8.
Roll
Go
that.
ahead and roll just 1 for both.
Or Rolo. Look at
Jack
him.
And
He should know. Rolo now is just like, well, this lady summoning tide pools on me.
And that is going to be 7 points of damage to everybody within the whirlpool.
But we're the bad guys, you know. For Rolo.
I know,
Or
right?
For
Right?
whatever his name is, Rickett.
Rickett, look at you, dude.
Rickett, he's just watching this whole thing.
Get a backbone.
And with that, we're going to end our session for today right there.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so excited for next session.
I was
This is
thinking
so
about
fun.
moving on to the next combat round, but I was like, nah, I kind of want like both Cole and Max to have like some agency in this fight, so I'll give them a little bit of some combat to go on to this. There's still some baddies to be able to defeat, but that's where we're gonna go ahead and end it. So remember, we still have. Make sure to make note of this because I haven't noted it anywhere. Yuki, for the next 3 combat rounds, you are technically frightened by this guy. So if you start your turn within 30 feet of this Grim Raven, you have to roll the for to become frightened.
She's
Who
not,
else?
though, so it's all good.
I'm
Luxalia,
getting
that's also
munched.
the case as well. Jack is fine. There's fine. This is 4 rounds of combat. This is gone now. Let me just keep. So this is at the end of this turn. That's going to be 3 rounds. I think that's it. Cool. Things to note. But that's where we're going to go ahead and end it. We're going to go ahead and have you guys give thoughts on today's session. Who knows? Back-to-back battle sessions. That's nice. Actually, 3
love it.
battle sessions in a row. It's
Yeah.
feast or famine. I'm telling you. Belbin's about to get
True.
eaten. a good time. Good time to be had by
It's okay.
all.
You got your fist. I'm sure it doesn't feel good being punched from the inside, right?
It's probably true. Now, right now he's just like half like hanging out of his beak. It's like,
Yeah, that's good.
what's going on here?
Who's played Elden Ring here? There are bird monsters in Elden Ring in a place called, oh, I forget the name of it. Anyways, that's what this guy reminds me of. They're just like big old crows that come, and they're the worst. Fighting them are the worst because they just jump on you and peck you to death. They're horrible.
That's what he's doing
Yeah,
with his savage
We're
dive.
we're fighting Elden Ring monsters. All right, I like it.
I actually think last turn I could have done one more attack to him, to Belbin. This guy's got 3.
Thank goodness.
3? 3 or 2? No, he's got 2.
Thanks for
I used
having
both of them.
mercy. Okay,
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, never mind. Take that
would've been-
back.
That would have been a little rough. But yeah, just thoughts on today's session. We'll start with Connor, then we'll go to Dane, and then we'll go forward from there. While you guys are talking, I'll be right back.
Yeah, thoughts on the session. Pretty intense. Nothing Belbin's been doing has kind of been panning out.
Bad roll night. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of bad rolls, but even like when I was coming over here, I was trying to fake like I was going this way, because then I'd be perfect distance to like get at this girl, the sorcerer, when she was right there, but then she moved. So now it's kind of good that I'm in his beak, and maybe he'll take me somewhere more useful. I don't know.
That's probably for the best though, because you saw Yuki, and I mean, I guess Belbin doesn't know this, but we're taking potential. What are they called?
Dart.
No, not well. Taking all the darts. No, but taking every turn we're having to roll fate survival
yeah.
checks.
Yeah, and that was It's
So.
good to. I mean, the misery will be of worry, I think, during this battle too. But there's a whole lot that I think Belbin's gonna have a hard time. So we'll have to see how it pans out. But yeah, I don't know. It was a good session. It was pretty intense, especially not knowing what we were getting into. But I'm glad that Yuki gave me a stronger potion than what Belbin was going to take.
How's everybody looking on HP? I think Belbin's
Yeah.
the only one real kind of. Yeah, Belbin's actually doing okay.
Well, yeah, when Luxalia healed me, that helped. For a second, I was under half, I think, or close to half. So
I'm
but
like
that was
sitting
just one
here
turn
looking
getting
and
hit.
just like seeing like probably the person who's lost the most amount of HP is Zill, but he's still in the hundreds.
Nope, it's Yuki. Yuki's almost lost 70 HP this battle.
Oh, seriously?
But you've also
she's
regained
been getting
it, right?
black
Oh, yeah.
darts to the face.
Yeah.
You've also regained
yeah.
some too, so that's good.
Yeah, I took a 40 HP healing potion and got healed technically by Jack.
I guess that is the weird thing.
Yeah.
Belbin has nothing, so it's like if
That's
Luxalia doesn't have his back, then
By Belbin.
there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing besides just trying to beat your way out of it. So
Dane, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, very similar to Connor. I was more confident going into this battle than I am now. I didn't realize that. What are these layer actions technically? Like
For what?
being on this altar thing.
I
know.
guess technically. So essentially, it's got the blue lights are causing it to be like a void in space.
scary.
It's technically considered like a shadowed area, and so by being there every turn, you could potentially every turn get 1 point of misery if you do fail the check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool. I wasn't expecting the near amount of like dudes you're gonna have to come across. For some reason, I was just thinking it was gonna be Rolo and the lady. I forget her name off the top of my head. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it to get it because I didn't write it down. Yeah, and like it's good. One thing I really do like about this, again, we talk about this every single time we play Everlast. It's a Christian story essentially. It's based off of the Christian model, and I really like the aspect of like you need to name the demon in order to like actually have command over it, because that's what exorcists actually do when they're out there performing exorcists. So I kind of like that. I like Jack a lot. Every time we've encountered him, I'm just like, this dude knows what's up. There's a reason he heads the what are they called, the Rangers of Helix. He's pretty sweet. I'm very confident that we have him, and he's done a lot already so far. I don't know how thick he is, so he may be in some danger here shortly. But no, I think Yuki's main goal going into this battle was to try to make Rolo see the light while at the same time trying to destroy this. Because ultimately, like if we do kill the witch and we do stop the demons, if Rolo's still going to be a hood rat, then how far are we actually going to get into like saving Folden Rock itself? So it's kind of like a twofold path. We could kill him, but he's also someone who's redeemable as well. And so again, it's a Christian story, and I really like that because it's like, what do you do? These are kind of almost real life in a sense, moral dilemmas you're encountering, and I really like that. So it's a lot of thinking on my part today on how to handle this. So, and poor Rickett, feel so bad for that guy.
It's a lot of thinking on my part too. I'm trying to like play everyone like as basic as possible as like all the people that I'm controlling, but like with these enemies too, like I'm genuinely like trying to create strategies to defeat you guys, and I'm like trying to manipulate and move things and like move my characters in such a way that it makes it as difficult as possible. That's actually interesting, Connor, because I didn't know. I thought Belbin was just like trying to do something with that door. I had no idea that you were gonna like do like a backtrack, and so I was just like, nah, this Raven's gotta do something. He's got lots of movement. Because like so he has like a special ability where called Shadowed Wings, and in darkness he has 80 feet of flight movement. And
Holy
yeah, he can basically go in and like do his thing. And I was like, well, he's off on his own here. I can do as much damage as possible with like the beak attack, like just put an extra 3d6 damage on the attack. And I was like just trying to like beat you down to the ground while like everybody's there. Like my goal is and this is generally how it kind of is, like I have some things that I can do for crowd control, but also it's easier to pick people off when they're spread out. Like it's more difficult to come to people's rescues that way, if that makes sense. And so like I don't know, I'm trying a few different tactics here to see what ends up happening. But yeah, there's that other thought. It's like now Belbin's in the beak. Do I bring him over to the center? Do I just like pound everybody with AoEs and then like just make it very difficult?
How's it feel actually having like the big baddie actually able to do stuff? I feel like the last few battles we've just kind of flash killed the big baddie.
Well, like the first 2 rounds of combat, really no damage was being drawn out, and so like I've realized like I'm just like I gotta use my big stuff because I like to save my big stuff for like a little bit later to make it more intense later. But by that time you've already killed all the minions, and it's just like, well, it's just this person. And it's like right now I have like just enough like guys to kind of like crowd control a little bit, and then like have like my big hitters, which are like I don't know if she's necessarily a big hitter, but she does like a lot of like trolley crap, like put up like barriers, put up like whirlpools and things like that. And this guy's like my big hitter kind of. If Rolo's able to attack, he's kind of a big hitter too. Yeah, then it's just kind of mobs. This guy here, I never attacked with him. Dang it.
Well, he's blinded.
He's blinded.
Oh, that's
so.
true. That's true.
Yeah, both these guys have 2 more turns of blind.
1 more turn. So like the 4 turns it counts the turn, or 2 turns counts the turn that it happens. And so, and then it's next turn. But yeah, he's blinded. These guys can hit kind of hard too. And then these guys are just spellcasters that are just like,
the darts,
the
black darts. I'm telling you. I like the flat 14 damage. I don't have to make rolls, which is nice. But it also helped you because when you had when I got my crit on my roll, it didn't add any extra damage. It's just a flat 14, and so
it's true.
But yeah. Anyways, it's been fun, like kind of like thinking up like strategies and everything, because I can't really practice like some of these battles like with you. It just kind of go with it and see, and like I want to make it like somewhat challenging. Like Dane said, you guys are kind of getting to the level where you should be in this part of the like adventure, and so like I want to make it like decently challenging for you to be able to deal with it as well. And that's why I also partially wanted to like allow again Cole and Max to have some agency with their characters to be able to determine like what's going on with that. And so yeah, I'm curious to see what happens next session. What's happening with that? Speaking of which,
I'm
next
curious.
Yes,
Wait,
go ahead.
one more thing. Why did we wait so long before we broke out? That was kind of killing me, and I guess making me kill Belbin.
Why let the lady, maybe to get the demon to appear out of her before we started going to things? I just trust Jack. Jack knows what's up, right?
I trust Jack. I don't know if I trust Kyle.
There's a reason.
We'll find it out. We'll have to ask him if he doesn't die.
Yeah, yeah. Whoever's left standing can
Yeah.
ask.
Right.
Awesome. And
But
I'm looking
quick
here.
question.
Yes.
I do have a quick question. So if we do happen to turn Rolo on the right side, I'm assuming all the bandits will also be on our side, right? You would
If you do
think.
happen to turn, you'll see.
I know. Did Yuki successfully charm him the last turn?
You'll see.
Oh my gosh.
This next turn of combat's going to determine a lot of things, which is why I decided to stop it here.
All right. All right.
So just keep things in mind, because like things are moving, things are happening within this combat that perhaps you're awares or unaware of. So
I'm so sad. Will the new implementations as far as the attacks and stuff enact next session?
no, I guess it depends, because I still, again, am working on the new stuff for both Luxalia and Zill's class. So for those who don't know, Luxalia and Zill's classes are actually classes that will be implemented much later in the release of Everlast. So the original 6 classes that will be released, some inside baseball here, are going to be the Assassin, the Bard, the Knight, the Oblate, the Ranger, and the Scholar. So those are going to be the original 6 classes that do get released, and then in extra content, extra adventures, we're going to slowly introduce like new classes and that kind of stuff. But it gives kind of like the 6, like 2 kind of DPS-y classes, 2 kind of tanky classes, and then 2 kind of supporty classes to be able to work on and look at. So just a little bit insider baseball, you guys can kind of understand that. So there's like extra content to come out, and so like I haven't really worked a lot on their stuff outside of like the stuff that's going to be released in the upcoming Kickstarters. So I'll get there, and once it's implemented, it'll be implemented in. But
Well, just Yuki won't hit quite as like she won't have as quite a big of a hit modifier when that happens, which is a little sad.
it's
a
good
little
though,
sad.
because like a lot of like the roles that I'm seeing is like roles that like happen that you get in like high levels of like D&D, where like
Yeah.
it's a 16-point scale as opposed to a 20-point scale, and so that 4-point fluctuation, especially with people's like defense values and whatnot, like it makes a big difference. And so the way that I'm kind of scaling some things back without spoiling too much of like kind of like the new stuff, which is again why we play test this, so I can kind of like balance it a little bit. It makes it so that it's going to be just like a little bit more balanced. Like the chances of hitting something is going to be closer to like 60% as opposed to like a 90% like you're going to whack something. And so then like the stats and everything are like kind of be moved around a little bit and changed a little bit. But for players here, I'll let you guys know like ahead of time when that happens, which means that probably likely we're sticking to this combat style. We're not going to change combat mid-combat. So we're going to just keep it as is. Remember your characters and how they work now, and then we'll implement the changes probably for the next combat whenever that's going to happen. And then everybody on stream will be able to see that when it happens. But again, playtesting is very valuable for these exact reasons, because well, and also too at the very beginning, I gave you guys some insane stat spreads. Because like originally, like, well, how it's supposed to work right now is so what are your guys' like base stats like right now, like just stat totals? Like Belbin, what do you got right now?
Stat total, like adding all the modifiers.
Not adding the modifiers, just like the base score of like your character stats. So like for example, Luxalia, she's got like a 12 strength, a 9 agility, a 14 fortitude, 10 mind, 16 faith, 8 charisma.
I've got like 14 strength, 14 agility, 12 fortitude, 8 mind, 11 faith, 6 charisma, 10 accuracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yuki's
what
got 15 strength, 6 agility, 11 fortitude, 10 mind, 9 faith, 16 charisma, and then 12 accuracy, which I guess is technically
yeah, and even Zill too. Like Zill is like got all the stats in all the right places for what he does. But yeah, he's got like an insane amount of things that he can do. He's got like 12 strength, 8 agility, 16 fortitude, 6 mind, 14 faith, 12 charisma, 10 accuracy. Like though, like the stats, this is like the typical stat breakdown. And like the most bonuses that you really get is 4, maybe 5 to a specific stat, like over the course of like levels like 1 through 10. The basic stat line out when you first start is you get 1 stat that is a 4, 1 stat that is a 6, 2 that are 8s, and 1 that is a 10, and then 1 that is a 12.
and then one that is a 14. And so, like, the stats that you guys, just generally speaking, are way higher threshold than all of the other, like, typical adventurer stats that you have. Like, you guys are, like adventurers on crack right now, as far as, like, that's concerned. So, yeah, it's something.
It's pretty good.
Pretty
I like
good.
it.
Yeah. But anyways,
I like
with that being the case, Dane, do you have anything to add, any announcements?
Yeah, quick announcements. Our next Everlast session will be November 8th for those on the western side of the world, which is the 9th on the other side of the world. So again, second
November's
week
a weird
of
month because
Yeah.
next Friday is the 1st, and so so it's gonna be kind
it's
of
2
weird.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like, feels like the first week. Like, for example, that week we'll have AME on Wednesday, but we'll also have Everlast, which that's typically not the case. That's not normal, just because of like the way that the weeks line up. But yeah,
It
just
works out though, considering the fact that that last week in November is Thanksgiving, so we don't have anything on Thanksgiving weekend, and then Cole and I will be unable to attend on the 15th or 16th because I'll be in Florida visiting Cole. So it worked out that how the month ended up, in the first being on the first Friday. So it's gonna be a little weird though, having AME and Everlast in the same week, but that's fine. It'll be a
week
party.
full of tabletop RPGs, that's for sure.
Yeah,
But,
it'll be good. It'll be
yeah,
good.
so our next session will be the 8th Friday for those on the west, or the 9th for those on Eastern time.
Yep. Aside from that, just a couple quick announcements. So Kyle will be continuing his playthrough of Final Fantasy 12 on Sunday, or Monday his time.
We're in the
And
thick
check
of
the
it.
Discord. We're in the thick of it for sure. Getting towards the end, I think, too. And yeah, and so that will be on the Discord, so feel free to join the Discord, and we post the schedules there. We did add a new thing to the Discord. Again, we're kind of embracing our Christian faith here at Fantasy Forge Studios, because again, without God, nothing's possible. And so as a resource for everyone out there as well, if any of you are going through anything and or need some help or need some prayer or anything, you can always join the Discord, DM me. We actually do have a prayer group at Fantasy Forge Studios, and so I will take those and then anonymously give those to the prayer team at Fantasy Forge Studios, and then we of course will pray for whatever you're going through or anything that needs to happen, because again, your best defense against the evils of this world is prayer. And so we're really working on that. We're really trying to get that out there, because I know there's not a lot of people out there who have that ability to get prayer either, and it's really strong for everyone. So if you do want to come forward, there's that. We have a new section called prayers and intentions, so I'm going to be continuously putting new prayers and new things in there. Also, if you have some stuff that you want to say publicly, like pray for this, pray for that, we can all do that. But in case those of you who don't know how to pray or want to learn how to pray, that's a good place to be able to go to get some resources on how to do so. Aside from that, we have some amazing sponsors. So we have Dice Naki. They're a Japanese sweets and luxury cheese company based in Tokyo, Japan. They're a small family business, free international shipping. And if you do decide to buy from them, make sure to say that Forge sent me or something. There's a little box where you can write a message there at once in checkout. And then that gives us the credit for that. That really helps us out. And it also goes to helping support a small family business. Really good stuff. Every time I've bought from them, I've been super, super happy with them. Also, make sure to mention your Twitch username, because once we hit a referral limit, then we will be giving out a free one of their boxes once we hit that referral limit, which is really, really cool. So we're going to be doing that. We also have candles and fragrances and Coffee of the Realm. Those of you who like or want to support the creation of the art of Everlast specifically before any of the Kickstarters come out, you can do that by buying some of our exclusive candles and coffee. They're really good. They're awesome. I think they're a really good price for what it is, and all proceeds go towards the creation of the art. Part of the reason we're doing this ahead of time before the Kickstarter comes out is art takes time. Essentially. And so if we're commissioning it right when we're doing the Kickstarter, then there's no way we're going to be able to like get the game out in a timely fashion. So we're doing it ahead of time so that we can get it out there, and have the art basically ready by the time that we have the Kickstarter. And then basically most of the funds for the Kickstarter can go towards like publishing costs and getting it out there to you guys, advertising, things like that. So it's gonna be really cool. So consider purchasing those. Again, it helps the creation of Everlast. We really do appreciate it. And aside from that, I mean, Cole will be streaming next week, as far as I know. Some Paper Mario. Kyle will be streaming, or we'll be doing Adventures in Middle Earth next Tuesday. Again, the same week as no, actually no. We have nothing next week because it's a 5th week,
I will
which is weird.
I will still be continuing my playthrough
Final
of
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah.
So there will be a stream that day. It just won't be AME.
Yeah, no tabletop RPGs next week, and have a very blessed and wonderful rest of your October, everyone. And as always, keep praying for us as we keep praying for you. And speaking of which,
Let's close in
we
prayer.
want to end it. Yeah.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. O Jesus, my Savior and Redeemer, Son of the living God, behold, we kneel before you and offer you our reparation. We would make amends for all the blasphemies uttered against your holy name, for all the injuries done to you in the Blessed Sacrament, for all the irreverence shown towards your Immaculate Virgin Mother, for all the slanders spoken against your spouse, the Holy Catholic Church. O Jesus, who has said, if you ask the Father anything in my name, he will give it to you. We pray and beseech you for all our brethren who are in danger of sin. Shield them from every temptation to fall away from the true faith. Save those who are even now standing on the brink of the abyss. To all of them, give light and knowledge of the truth, courage and strength for the conflict with evil, perseverance in faith and active charity. For this do we pray, most merciful Jesus, in your name, unto God the Father, with whom you live and reign in the unity of the Holy Spirit, world without end. Amen. And with that, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, we will go ahead and end. Thank you so much for everything. God bless you all. I'm praying for you. Pray for each other. Pray for me. And I will see you all on Monday with some more Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age, and we will see the rest of you in November. Have a great rest of your October. Happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe, be smart, and we will see you on the other side. Bye, everybody.